is wrong, I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not right.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me.
Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism. As a decoy, but I about me boy. Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Stairs on the house. Till then, it's headphone open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof. No proof. I always want to hear my best. You don't know what is a star like under the city? The drivers like fly. Just get large. So many more. 10 in the more. Never a bar. 8, 10 in the more. 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Hands up as ever. Cute as can be. You can watch it on YouTube with view for free. Ay. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Welcome to the playoffs, Carolina. You just got taken to Beatdown City. What a time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. What a time to be alive. The Cats take a 1-0 series lead. That was something, dude.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. You know, I got a new one yesterday. I was suggested a new one. A runny Nosek. What do you think of that one for cat fever? Runny
I love
Nosek.
it. I love it. I love it. That is pretty good. Obviously, Leroy is having some issues hearing you. You can hear me okay, Marcos?
Yeah, I can hear you good. You know what Leroy did? He was in studio yesterday. You know how that goes.
Oh yeah. Did he mute his tab?
Most likely. Or his headphones are
not plugged in. JFig may put him backstage while he's figuring all that out. I think that's the best way to go. He'll give us a thumbs up when he can hear us.
Yeah.
But dude, that yesterday, welcome to the playoffs yesterday for Carolina. I hope you guys realize there's no shame in that game, even though you guys tried a strategy of, bringing the fight to the Cats, which is adorable. It's adorable. Like, I almost want to pinch their cheeks to figure this thing out, because it's like, hey, we're going to try and out tough the Panthers. You're sorely mistaken. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. And quite frankly, they embarrassed him. They embarrassed themselves. Like, it's one of those things where I watch them try and, go about this with this idea of, oh, we're going to try and start stuff. Then already with it, they're like whining about calls. Carter Verhaeghe with the early goal to put the Cats up. Once it was 1-0, I was already confident, but once it was 2-0, I'm like, this puppy's over. Because Bob was in that zone last night, and you could just clearly see it from the get-go that Sergei Bobrovsky was ready to rock. He was ready to go. He was ready to be in this unbelievable position of like, oh, guys, I'm in the zone right now. I'm seeing everything happen. And unless their players were playing Pele with the puck, they had no shot against Sergei yesterday. He was in the zone. He couldn't be touched. Unbelievable. Unfriggin' believable with all of that.
And they tried to be dirty.
Yeah, they tried.
They tried to shoot a puck at my boy. Of all people.
Oh, Brad Marchand?
Yeah. Like, I've never seen that before. He was 100 feet away from the goal. He shot a puck at that person. He should be fined and take away a draft pick.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I don't understand why that was like the move. I understand Brad Marchand is annoying, but for Ghost of what? How do you say this? Gostis Bear? He's from down here. He's a South Florida kid, Junior Panther.
He said Pembroke Pines. I was like, what?
Yeah, look. I don't know if you should walk through Publix right now with your head high. Like, I don't know what kind of behavior that was. That was not good boy behavior. And not only that, slow with the punch, because did you see that head movement from Marchand?
Ooh. He bobbed and weaved.
And right to the takedown. Yeah. My God, that was something. Let's get to our headlines, which are brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. At Doral Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock, like the Tiguan, the Taos, and the Atlas. And remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. Your final score last night in Carolina was 5-2. The Panthers take a 1-0 series lead. Carter Verhaeghe, Aaron Ekblad, AJ Greer, Sam Bennett, and Etu Losterinen scoring again. All fine in the net for the Cats. Sergei Bobrovsky, 31 saves. He was in the absolute zone last night. And you could tell right away that he was in the heads of the Carolina Hurricanes simply when he had that 6 save with no stick. And they're just like, all right, we're not scoring on him at all tonight. Let's cheat. Let's cheat. And that's what happened. Like, let's go about this and let's try and take his head clean off. And Andrei Shvechnikov tries to take out Sergei Bobrovsky, thinking you're going to rattle him, which you're not going to. And I was like, I'm like, you're not going to. You guys think you're going to play a game with him, and you think that you're going to get to a spot where you're going to rattle Sergei Bobrovsky. And even on the Canadian broadcast, they were sitting there and they were like, "Oh, I think it's finally working." That they're getting into Bob's head. Trust me when I tell you, you were not. That wasn't going to work. That strategy is going to fail. And so you try as you might try like the dirty tactics, and you may try the stuff that's over the line a little bit. You have played right into the Panthers' hands, and series are never over after one game, but the Panthers have already taken home ice, and you've already put them into like a must-win scenario in game 2. The Panthers were coming off of these dudes were sitting back fat and sassy the last couple of days. And the Panthers just off a 7-game intense series against the Toronto Maple Leafs. You go there and you're like, all right, this is how you guys want to go about this. You guys want to play a little physical? Cool. Let's do that. Oh, you want to try and be dirty against our goalie? He's an assassin. Good luck. He'll punch you right in the face too. Like give him one more shot. Like go ahead. Because Bob will find his shots eventually. Like, we'll get to this thing, and it'll be over. Bob, don't forget. He punched Tkachuk's brother.
That's true. She forgot about that. I think we're already in their head, dude. I know Leroy was mentioning, that they're a very fast-paced team. That's really all I know about the identity of Carolina. What I saw yesterday was a bunch of people who were playing out of their element. And if you're going to try to get into that game with the Panthers, not only are we more physical than you, we're more deep than you, we have a better goalie than you, we're more skilled. So, in my opinion, I know it's 1-0, but that was a big 1-0 yesterday.
No, it definitely was. And then like just the we keep using the word depth, and it's probably, becoming one of these things where like we get it. They have depth. No, I'm serious though. Like think about all the guys who put up goals for this team. And then Mikkola is out there causing an odd man rush. He's dazzling with the stick work to set up AJ Greer. And I'm like, the polar bear just did that? Like, are you kidding me? Because he's normally like going to wreck your face, bash you into the ice, just be 2-1 filthy. That's Mikkola. Like, he is the definition of Panthers brute. And he's out here with the fancy stick work. And so, like, when you have that working for you, when you have Mikkola coming about this thing to try and fit, like, if he's doing that, the Panthers are in their playpen right now. That's how it is. Crazy.
So, remember that argument I made? That was so crazy. How could Frog Boy ever make that argument? More and more. Looking like I'm right, too. A lot of these guys, late 20s.
You talking about the big 3 argument that you made?
Yeah, baby.
Can you just wait till they repeat before you stand on such a mush take?
I'm already planning my parade round.
All right, but just wait until they get the 2 cups, and then you can start making that. Like, don't do that now.
Okay. Right.
Hello, Leroy.
Hello. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. That was an adventure for you this morning. You came out sputtering like the Carolina Hurricanes.
Hey, I don't know why teams try to play and match what the Panthers do.
Yeah, it's adorable.
You're outside of your element, right? Carolina got to be fast. They got to be all over the place. Don't try to be physical. Don't stop. Like, what are they doing? But again, not my problem.
Nope, they're gonna try and do what they do. But I mean, just everything that was going for the cat. Just, I mean, some of the stuff they were doing yesterday was just, I mean, it was nasty. I mean, the shot by Carter Verhaeghe to open up the scoring.
Oh.
Woo! The backhand.
I like the backhand top shelf.
Yeah.
When he took his time.
Swaggy.
I'm like, if you want to talk about being physical, how could that man tap dance with the puck right in front of the goal and nobody put hands on it? Don't talk about physical. Don't talk about that's.
Well, they had just gotten in trouble for being physical, and that was the problem that they got in. They were like, because here's the thing, you don't know how to you don't know that line, and so Anton Lundell, who is, you know, it's funny because he's baby Barkey, but he may be turning into baby Marshy with all his time with Brad Marchand, because now he's now becoming an instigator. Because he hits him with the little shove ski in the back, and it made Aho lose his mind and trying to put him in a chokehold. And then like the refs are gonna be like, that adorable little Finnish boy, that's the one who tried to hurt you. He's penalty for you. How dare you put hands on him? There's no way.
Marchand get kicked out?
Pretty much, yeah. There was no game time left.
Oh, okay. So he just went in. So it wasn't a matter of. And see, here's what I like. See, everybody looks at the physicality that the Panthers play with. But notice, the real Panther shenanigans didn't start till we were up 5-1.
Of course.
Then they got even more in their heads.
But that's the thing is, like, they'll wait for that opportunity. You know, the same thing happened back with the Lightning doing that stuff to Barkov. And, like, they waited until the game was over.
Right.
And they're like, Now it's time to get the payback. So I don't know. And for everybody who's saying Aho's finished, he's not adorably finished though. Like there's a difference. Okay, like Niko is finished too. He looks like a monster. There's a difference between being finished and adorably finished. And you look at Anton Lundell and look at that sweet boy with that blonde hair and those chubby cheeks. You're like, he would never do what you're claiming that he's doing dirty tactics. Look at him. And then he gives that angel smile of his, and then wink. And that's why you got thrown in the box.
And I'm going to ask a hockey question. What can they do to a guy that tries to hit the guy with the puck? I mean,
I don't understand your question.
What they said, the league reviews all situations, so they'll review.
I'm sure they'll. I don't think he'll get suspended. I imagine he'll probably get fined $5,000. Really? That's usually what happens.
Because that, I mean, come on.
Yeah, it was a dirtbag move, but I don't. Right. I don't think they're going to suspend him. Got his ass kicked. I think they're going to be like, Marchand got his. He took care of that, and they're going to fine him. And I think we usually get those. We'll get those during the show if something happens. Right.
So I was a little confused as to what, all I saw was Marchand going in. They get a 2-minute, power play, but I didn't know that he got a 10-minute misconduct, and it was at the end of the game. So
yeah, it was a 10-minute ass whooping penalty.
So yeah, but I'm wondering.
It's like, I had great head movement. What am I getting penalized for? Because he couldn't land a punch? Like that was some. I mean, that was. Hey, he's tiny. He's hard to hit. Quick head move. Whoosh, whoop, 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 yeah, right to the takedown. That was very impressive. Very impressive.
Was everybody like me, and you could clearly see that they came out and tried to match or tried to one up the Panthers in how they play, and it backfired. It just backfired. They looked out of their element.
Yeah, so, that was definitely noticeable. I mean, they basically cheated to get their lone goal up until that late power play where it was over. Because we're sitting here acting like Ronaldo on the ice. So
yeah, I thought you couldn't do that. Did they deem it incidental?
They said it was deflection. They claimed he didn't kick, even though he was out there like a flamingo.
Oh, so when he went like this and kicked that skate, that was after the fact?
That's what they say.
First thing I think of is the Seth Jones goal from, like, I know we already got past them, but I'm just like, so I don't know what this rule is anymore.
Right.
We'll take a break. We'll hear some of the calls from last night. We'll hear from your Panthers. Cats up 1-0 in the Eastern Conference Final. Back after this.
WQAM broadcasting think the thing with
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Just had our second Whiskey Stars and Cigars a few weeks ago, and now we got your chance to win tickets to Drew Estate's sold-out Barn Smoker. I felt like that's what I watched last night. Get a tour of Florida's sun-grown farm. Enjoy fine spirits, a catered dinner, and an exclusive Barn Smoker cigar pack upon arrival. For your chance to win, go to the WQM contest page at WQM.com and enter. Must be 21 or older to win and attend. Panthers, they win yesterday, 5-2. Game 2 will be on Thursday against the Carolina Hurricanes. The Western Conference Final gets going tonight between the Stars and Edmonton Oilers. That puck drops at 8 o'clock tonight. Of course, you got the Eastern Conference Finals, Knicks and Pacers tonight at 8 o'clock. Last night in the Western Conference Finals in the NBA, Thunder hammered the Timberwolves 114-88.
I wonder how hurt Ant is.
How hurt he is? I didn't see. Did he get hurt?
He rolled his ankle, but
he didn't seem too worried.
Start shooting a lot of jumpers. I don't know whether it's from the defense or,
defense is good. Defense
very good.
They are smothering.
Even the windsock.
No, he's a great defender.
I know.
Yeah. That is a very, very impressive team that they got to go up against for sure. But not as impressive as the Cats.
No.
Who win 5-2 yesterday.
And it wasn't that close.
Did you have a favorite part of the game yesterday? Was there something that tickled your fancy? Was it the sheer violence that ensued? Was it the goals? Because I think mine was Mikkola setting up AJ Greer, because I'm like, this polar bear is just on such a run right now. And it was crazy. He's just like look at that monster down the ice with his stick skills.
It's amazing because they talk about trying to get an advantage when the Panthers have their fourth line in and they have their first line in, right?
Mm-hmm.
That, they tried to switch it up and get advantages. But I asked the question because it seems like the third and fourth lines have been more productive than the first and second lines.
They've been awesome.
When it comes to scoring. So, do you really want to do that?
They've just been tremendous from top to bottom. I think that's been, I think, what are they up to? 18 different guys have scored for the Panthers.
Yeah. And then what wears you down is when you're playing against the Panthers, you start rotating your first and second lines more, right? So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, you'll go 1, 2, then 3, 1, then 4, 2, whatever.
Yeah, but
get more ice time.
But the impressive thing here is these guys had 4 or 5 days off, to get into this. The Panthers are fresh out of Canada and just did that to you.
Haven't been home yet.
That's the thing that has to just be like, ugh.
Well, maybe they're on the heater, right? And you want to keep playing.
I'm just saying for them to be like, all right, if you're not going to win that game against them with ferocity and energy and all that type of stuff, good luck, dude. Because now I think AJ Greer said afterwards he's kicking back. They're kicking back by the rooftop pool afterwards. And they're going to enjoy their nice little day and come ready for game 2, which is absolutely a must for Carolina, who's 0-13 in their last conference final game. Yeah.
I mean, they got swept 3 times, the last 3 times.
Well, they got swept by the Cats. Remember, that was the sweep.
2 years ago.
The sweep, they said, wasn't a sweep. No debate about that one last night.
Right.
Can we hear some of the goal calls there, Froggy?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we open up yesterday, the first period. Cats go on the power play because how dare you touch Anton Lundell. And Carter Verhaeghe, swaggy, gets it going for the Cats, put them up 1-0.
Tkachuk on the end wall for the Panthers. Matthew Tkachuk, right circle, Reinhart. Down low, Tkachuk. Back along the near side, Barkov. Tkachuk in the right wing corner. Barkov here on the right side into the circle. Barkov in front, a chance back, and they score! And it's Carter Verhaeghe, backhand, top shelf, and the Panthers are on the board first here in the Eastern Conference Final.
Wow. They were saying yesterday, Carter Verhaeghe has a run that I think he scored, it's either 5 straight in 4 postseasons or 4 straight or 4 goals or less in 5 straight postseasons. He's done something that like only Leon Draisaitl has more goals than him over this whole thing, which is
crazy.
Verhaeghe.
Hey, I hear his teeth when he says that.
Carter Verhaeghe.
But nothing makes us quite happy than when a good boy scores. And that's when Aaron Ekblad, who was once doubted by Brooks Koepka, who couldn't stand a couple hecklers this past weekend. Aaron Ekblad, who's a good boy, he put the Cats up 2-0.
Rodriguez, Ekblad shot, he scores off the iron and in. The Panthers came up with it in the offensive end. It was Rodriguez who spotted an open Aaron Ekblad, and he rifles one home out of the right circle, and the Panthers double their lead. It's 2-0 here in game 1.
Then the refs took mercy on the Carolina Hurricanes, allowed them to play soccer to make it 2-1 going into the first intermission. But this was my favorite goal of the game. Niko Mikkola setting up AJ Greer for the goal. And our favorite polar bear, he's got some stick skills too.
Blake plays one down to our right, back behind the net. Niko Mikkola there, backhand far boards, handled there by Gadjevich, given to Tomas Nosek. Up the right side, now Mikkola, right circle in front of Chance Greer, and he scores! What a setup, and what a finish. AJ Greer upstairs, and the Panthers take a 3-1 lead.
Jesus. Niko was on one, man. That was crazy. He's so terrifying.
He's a moose.
Yeah, and then like they get to the point where he's doing like we saw a classic Niko Mikkola by the end of it in the third period. I saw the move where he just basically took his stick, pinned a Hurricane to the ice, and rubbed his nose in it. I'm like, that's what the polar bear does. Beware.
That's what he does.
Third period, the Panthers really stepped on their neck. Sam Bennett by order of the Peaky Pucky Blinders.
30 seconds on the power play. Rodriguez to Bennett. Bennett at the line, long shot, he scores! Sam Bennett, a long-distance shot from just inside the blue line. It's a power play goal. It made its way through the traffic, and the Panthers have a 4-1 lead.
Jesus. And it's Betty's Buddies Day, because it's like National Puppy Day or something. I can't believe an entire
Isn't
country
it Adoption Day?
Yeah, dude.
Not
I can't believe it.
Day.
Whatever. It's the same thing. That's what he does, Benny's Buddies. And you should go adopt a dog if you want one. But Benny's Buddies down. He donates for every puck that he for every goal that he scores. He's imagine a country being mad at that guy. For shame, Canada. How dare you?
I mean, we actually feel the same way about Marchand.
No, Marchand.
I'm saying we did before he got here.
Well, not really. I mean, Marchand was on the wrong end of Sam Bennett being a good boy.
No, I got you, but I'm just saying. Like,
obviously, he's worked on his head movement since then.
Bob Weave.
Losterainen, he had the final goal for the Cats. No
empty netter is amazing.
The Finnish Flash, he has been unbelievable and just adds on to the embarrassment that was Carolina's game 1.
Off the draw, Forsling a blast. Wide of the Carolina net. Nosek in front of shot. They score! From in close. It's Eetu Losterainen set up in the left circle, and he blasts it home, and the Panthers stretch their lead to 5-1 with 5:05 to play here in the third, and Eetu Losterainen stays red hot in these playoffs.
Yeah, he's been ridiculous.
Hey, it was crickets early.
Oh, yeah.
Arena.
Oh, yeah.
Crickets.
Yep, and that's a tough one because Freddie Anderson for them has been, pretty nails, and they put it on him for a game 1. So
I mean, there was a Verhaeghe goal where he slow rolled it and then went top shelf.
Yep,
that was amazing. I don't even put that on the goalie. I'm like, if I'm the goalie, I'm saying, hey, can we not let guys have a lunch outside? Like, I mean, he had time to fake, gather himself, and then shoot the puck. No.
You got Paul Maurice after the game, Froggy, because Paul Maurice said
Paul Maurice stuff.
Classic Paul Maurice says that he won, but he didn't like their game.
The best growth in our team comes off losses. I think that's where we learn more. I didn't love our game tonight, but I understood it. It's a significant style change. So the game one is that first look at what your game looks like in a completely different opponent. So we will have to continue to build that game and get better. I thought we had some good finishes. I thought they had good chances that they didn't finish on. It's a little bit what it looks like when these two teams play. Sergei was very strong. It's a different style of rush game than we've seen, so we were just okay with how we handled it. So we have to make adjustments, but I maybe have felt that in our first game in each of the previous two. We went into Tampa, but we scored 3 power play goals, I think, on 3 chances, and that was like 30 minutes into the game. It's like 6-2 or something like that. So the game kind of. And then we went into Toronto, and we struggled with their rush offense. So we got work to do.
I love that guy. You know, it was funny. You had a coach.
Can you tell if they won or not?
That's the thing. Well, that's the thing that's hilarious is you have a coach who had his team just go throttle the Hurricanes. He comes out afterwards. He goes, didn't love it. And then you have Rob Brindamore afterwards who got his ass kicked, and he goes, I kind of like their game. Bunting. Like
Paul Maurice says that too at times, and you go, what?
Yeah,
he's very consistent with this. He looks at the game and how his guys are playing and accepts the results, but don't use the results as an indication of how they play.
Yeah, I get you. Never settled. And then he also said afterwards that he said a lot of what they did on defense. He says you got to give credit to Bob. Here was some more Paul Maurice on him.
I thought we were just okay, Dan. I didn't think we were great with it. But when I said that, I understood it. It's a different style that we've seen. Like Tampa and Toronto are so dynamic up the middle of the ice. They'll break off early and go. And I think by the end of the series, we had an understanding of it. This was more the double swing off the weak side that we didn't pick up very well. So this is true of Carolina and us. We probably both value puck pressure as much as anything else. And I don't want to sacrifice the puck pressure on a couple of plays to get in behind us. We're not reckless with our forecheck. It's fairly defined. But when you play a team like this and they get in behind you or they get odd man rushes, there's a detail in you're missing some sort of change of sides detail. And every team is different, so there'll be teams with center under on the breakout, there's center over on the breakout, there's a whole bunch of different ways teams do it. You just have to see it and then adjust to it. So I didn't think we were great with that adjustment. We had guys pulling off when they shouldn't, guys going forward when they shouldn't. But this isn't anything new for us. Because of the way we play, we deal with this all the time. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to get it sorted out. I think you saw the final last year. I'm not sure we ever had that thing sorted out. But we at least understand our vulnerability in the way we play, and we won't sacrifice that aggressiveness to cover off. That's what Bob's for.
Hey, I'm not going to even ask.
Wink. Take a break. More to come here on the show. Back after this.
Panthers win Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final against the Hurricanes.
All right, welcome back, you rascals. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Taking you guys up until 2 here on the program. We got another pair of Dirk's Bentley tickets to give away for you. He's bringing his Broken Branches tour to the I Think Financial Amphitheater in June, and we got your chance to win tickets. Just keep on listening.
What's his first name again? Cletus?
Dirk's.
No, that's not his first name. That's his middle name.
Oh, his real name. His real first name? I don't know. Never thought about it. Just like his music.
No, we talked about it yesterday. I forgot.
I don't think
Frederick. There it is.
Frederick, yes.
Yeah. Frederick Bentley is not a star country singer.
Sounds like he's from England.
All right, here you go, everybody. Let's welcome to the stage Frederick.
Fred Bentley.
Fred
Bentley. That's
some guy. Some exec was like, we got to change that.
We
got
Dirks. Oh yeah, we'll go with.
Oh,
Dirks.
that's good. That's good. Nobody has that.
Not to be confused with Lil Durk.
Yeah.
No.
2 different genres.
No. He's in trouble right now, isn't he? Little Dirk.
Lil Durk, is he? He's probably got a lot of people getting in trouble nowadays. I can't keep up with these crazy kids.
I thought he got in trouble down here.
Yes. Oh my god. Accused of threatening witnesses ahead of murder for hire trial. Oof.
Yeah.
Not
He's
cool.
in jail. Isn't this a case down here?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's tough. He's got that bot with Morgan Wallen.
Hey, so
Wow.
at what point do you realize I don't need to prove nothing? I'm gonna just go ahead on and get this money and just act tough, right? They never learn.
Not everyone can be as real as Art God Savvy.
Guess not. Have you started putting the frog on the track?
I haven't made any new tracks, but it's coming. I promise.
We're trying to not heal my ankle before I get to the music.
Hey,
No,
Marcos, I can't tell you
Yeah.
how both disgusted and disappointed I am that you won't do the necessary things to get healthy.
I'm healthy already.
You're
back.
not.
This should the timeline.
Here, Marcos.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be lasting this long.
What's lasting? There's nothing. I don't even limp no more. People don't even know that anything's wrong with me, other than what's wrong with my face. I can't fix that.
Kind of just trudge along though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it hurts.
Kurt won't say your last.
Ice on it at the end of the day, at least. No.
Kurt won't say your last name on the chat. He says, "I've never seen a grown man get bullied like I did yesterday." Yeah, it was a tough look. It was a tough look for them. That was for sure. My favorite though was when they asked Bob about it after the game, because they're like, "Bob, how'd you deal with that physicality?" He goes,
Right. I mean, that's I don't think teams really understand the maulers that the Panthers have on their team. You say, "Oh, we're going to be physical with them. Oh, we're going to match their intensity," and they go, "We're just going to go play."
But I think this is the funny thing. I'm watching Sportsnet yesterday, and they're like, I think they're actually, because Svechnikov hits him with that blow by where they hit Bob, and he flails on his back like a turtle, and he's telling the ref, he goes, "Hey man, they allowed to do that?" And so, and mind you, this is already where they got to cheat to score a goal on him. So I think he was just a little frustrated with the officials, but on the Canadian broad, they're like, they're getting to Bobrovsky, they're getting in his head, and I'm
really
telling you, there's nothing you're gonna do less than get in Sergei Bobrovsky's head.
Right.
It's not gonna happen. That man is
in some of those situations though, they look at the action and misconstrue that as that. You know what I mean? So they see Bob talking, they got him and they're in his head. And I'm like,
no.
Are you familiar with this guy?
No. He's sitting here, and I think if anybody's just whatever, just let's get and because I think honestly, Bob's already in their head. That's honestly how I feel, because they're sitting here and he's going here with the no stick save, and they're like, oh no. Because that's when the physicality started. When Bob lost his stick and then does the old the body save, and you're like, oh man, this guy's in the zone today.
Oh,
Like that's when all of a sudden the chicanery started. And they're like, we better cheat, we better rattle him, and they didn't, because you're not gonna mess with that man. It's not gonna happen.
I think there's two guys that I have no doubt, no matter what you do, you ain't gonna get them. That is Tkachuk and Bob. You try to go after Tkachuk, he starts smiling. It's never a good sign.
Yeah. But you know that there's going to at least be a like usually the goalie. The thing is like, all right, the goalie. What do you? The very rare of the cases where it's where he's going to go out there and he's going to start swinging. It's not never happened,
Right.
but I think this is one of those things where, all right, we're going to get into this thing already where you're going to try and light him up and do your extracurriculars. You know, that's not going to shake him and that's not going to rattle that guy. He's too much of a cyborg. It's literally to break Bob mentally. I just don't think it's able to be done. Like the only guy who ever came close was Quinville because he was a rat bastard and loved Chris Drieger. Like that's it. But on the ice, please, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Do you guys think Matthew Tkachuk is fully healthy?
It's hard to tell. He definitely is, because he, like, whether he's writhing in pain or he's 100% healthy, he's always talking trash and he always smiling. So if he is still banged up, he's hiding it really well. But we had indications based on what everybody was saying that up until maybe a week ago, he was still a little banged up.
Hunter says, if you got into Bob's head, all you would hear is focus. Pretty much. Did you guys see when they go to a cat, like he's eating the banana during intermission? They like break away and there's Bobrovsky. He's like sitting there casually peeling, having a little potassium, getting ready for the next period.
If they got me at halftime, I'd be eating a cheeseburger and just garbage.
Would you eat at halftime, Leroy, during games?
Yes.
Really?
Every halftime.
Every halftime, and you're eating garbage?
Just something to fill my stomach up for the. Keep in mind, you eat breakfast.
Yeah.
At like 6:37.
Yeah.
And at halftime, it's about 2:30, and you haven't eaten anything since then. All you've done is, try to drink electrolytes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So eating a banana or orange ain't gonna get it done. You got to get something in your stomach that's gonna sit there.
So you're getting a double cheeseburger every.
Old stadium burger and stadium dog. I didn't always make it through both of them, but yeah.
Wow.
Some guys had, like they would eat the sunflower seeds, and basically you see guys eating the sunflower seeds because of the salt.
Oh,
Get salt in your system. But they were like, man, what's wrong with you? I'd have my pillow from the hotel, have a little Gatorade, eating a hamburger, laying back in my locker. They go, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, man. I said, I get hit on every play. I'm going to take a break.
We'll take a break. Hour 2 is next.
Football coverage on W. It's time for our Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tagovailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of food.
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. We're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, the channel Miami 560 WQAM. Let's get to our headlines. Brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. At Doral Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock, like the Tiguan, Taos, and Atlas. And remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen, as the Florida Panthers victorious yesterday in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. Carter Verhaeghe, Aaron Ekblad, AJ Greer, Sam Bennett, and Etu Lostarinen all scored for the Cats. Bob, 31 saves. Cats up 1-0. They have the day off today except for media. So we got that. Game 2 is tomorrow night. Marlins are back at it today. They got hammered yesterday, 14-1. So the rubber match is today at 1:10. You're muted, Leroy. So they'll get going there today. Max Meyer on the bump.
Man, the ups and downs of this team.
Yeah, I think they had like 8 runs in the 6th inning. It was a 1-1 game, and then it wasn't. So that's that. They're voting on the Tush Push.
Yeah, the Tush Push and reseeding.
No, I think they withdrew with the reseeding. They're not doing that anymore.
Really?
Yeah, they're not doing reseeding anymore. Only the Tush Push is getting voted on. And can I tell you, quite frankly, I don't care at this point. Just get it over with. Let's move on.
If you have somebody that has perfected something, can you fight to make it not a rule because you can't do it?
Apparently they can.
Right.
That's literally all they've been doing.
That seems like poor sportsmanship, or being a sore loser.
Yeah, it does.
And you can hide behind all the reasons that you come up with. But the fact of the matter, there's a lot of teams that try it and aren't as good as Philadelphia.
I'm just tired of the debate already. Like, keep it, don't keep it at this point. Well, I don't care.
Well, here's the interesting thing about this. When I played, it was illegal.
Yeah.
You couldn't push anybody from behind.
No, I know a lot of people don't like it. They don't think it's football. They think it's rugby. But I don't care. Like, just get to it already. Stop tabling it. Stop. Like, this has been going on now all off season. Nobody can get together and decide on this already? What we have more lobbying for votes?
I wish they would have did the reseeding. To have a 8 and 9 team have a home game is ridiculous. And I think every other sport reseeds, right?
Yeah. Well, I think from my standpoint, I like divisions counting, even if it's a stinky division. I think that gets
you in.
Yeah,
it's an automatic bid. It's the same thing in basketball. There's a bunch of teams that get automatic bids, and then you get seeded.
I don't mind it. It's not. This is one of those things where I'm like, it's fine.
It's
maybe I'd be more concerned if the Dolphins could actually get into the playoffs and do something. So,
I mean, you don't think it's a problem when you have a 14-3 team that ends up having to travel the first 2 games?
It's a problem, but it's such a rare. Like what we saw last year is so rare to have that many good teams,
right?
Right. Like it's the rarity. Like when the 7 and 9, like we all have one thing we can think about. Oh, remember when Seattle won?
I would say this: if you want teams to play at the end of the year, do the reseeding. because then it always matters. Right? Those 13 and 3 teams going into that final week, you might have to play to get home field for the first, couple of games or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
So that it accomplishes that because, besides Detroit and Minnesota, most of the divisions were locked up in week 15.
Trevor's saying they're bringing in Jason Kelsey as a consultant for these meetings. Jesus Christ, what are we doing?
You're bringing in the Tush Push expert?
We have Tush Push
to come in and talk about the Tush Push?
Your witness.
Give them all some Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
How about we have all the owners try and Tush Push, and the people who are for the Tush Push, if they can push past all the other owners, they win.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
How about we do it like that?
Yeah, that'd make these owners meetings much more entertaining if they had to compete in like physical activities.
Yeah. I personally thought that the reseeding would have been a bigger point of emphasis more than the Tush Push.
Maybe they just wanted, this. Sometimes they rescind because they don't think they have the votes, and so they want to like redo it another year.
Right. Well, and I know one division that's the AFC South. No matter what, they ain't gonna vote for.
Yeah, the division stinks.
Yeah, because the division stinks. But I do believe that football is the only sport that doesn't reseed, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because basketball, once the playoffs start, you have no idea who won the division.
What else we got here today? So Miami Dolphins, according to Barry Jackson, have reached out to cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. Trying to fill that void.
Is he a free agent?
Yeah.
Okay.
So still looking to pick up somebody to go into that secondary and get some more of a veteran presence.
I think if you get all your guys back at some point, I don't know where Jalen Phillips is, but if you get Chubb, you got Chop, you got the inside guys, you got Ken Grant?
Yeah.
I think if you can do something about that inside and kind of get that rush going, that it gives you a little bit of flexibility in the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas
I think all the rushers are going to be ready. I don't think that there's because remember Bradley Chubb was going to come back last year, but there was like kind of a judgment of where they were at.
Right. It makes sense.
I think he's going to be all the way back.
Okay.
And I don't think, and I think Jalen Phillips, I think his was a partial ACL tear. So I don't think like he obviously where he was coming at, they shut him down for the season because Jordan Poyer doesn't know what team he was on. So I think everybody on the pass rush is going to be good to go.
So if you can be creative with your pass rush, it'll help with who's in the secondary. And I can't emphasize that enough, that sometimes you don't need Jalen Ramsey in the secondary because your front seven are putting so much pressure on the quarterback up the middle and around the outside that he has to make quick throws and you don't have to cover that long. So from that standpoint, I'm more interested. Yes, I know you got to fill those spots in the secondary, but I'm more interested in how creative they're going to get with the front seven and the pass rush and stuff like that. I think that's the most important thing in the offseason going into the regular season is not necessarily who's going to fill the voids of the secondary, but how are we going to get after the quarterback? That's the most important thing, because if you do that, then you kind of give yourself a little bit of a reprieve of not being able to replace talent with exact talent.
Finally, congratulations to Kel'el Ware, named NBA All-Rookie second team.
All right.
Look at that.
Deserved. Missed that out by a few votes behind Sarr to get on the first team.
I can't wait to see how he improves from first year to second year.
Yeah, me too.
Because in order for this team to be good, he needs to be able to play 30 minutes a game and needs to be a deterrent in the paint while also getting those alley-oops and being athletic. And he's kind of a stretch five. I'm gonna give him a little bit of a stretch five because he made the first couple and then it was, and you're like, okay, that.
I think there's something there, but I think right now they want him to be dunks and rebound the holy hell out of the ball and block shots, like everything.
Exactly. I can see that. Yep. And curious with them who they're gonna add, who they're gonna get rid of. So I think that's the most important thing. Do we ever? So we don't go and get stars now according to fit. We just get a star and make it work, right?
I mean, we don't get any stars right now. We haven't got
no, but I'm just saying, like, that's usually how it goes. If you can get,
I think you go get talent. Like, like let's say in the crazy scenario, you were able to get Giannis without giving up Bam. Very much a pipe dream. I get it, but they're not necessarily an awesome fit. But you're adding the talent. Like they're the most talented players, so they're together.
Right.
But I don't think there's. I mean, like if they did Zion's a little bit of a weird fit because like he's an inside presence guy, but he's best with the ball in his hands, almost like a point guard. So that but obviously I'm talking about him healthy, obviously, but he's not necessarily like the best fit with everybody. I think I don't know if anybody else is like that. I think Trae Young fits if you were to get Ice Trae with Tyler, but it's like, woof. I mean, that's a bad backcourt defensively, but man, it's great offense.
I mean, is there anybody that you could get that wouldn't be a sieve on defense to play with Tyler besides Davion? Because I kind of like Davion and Tyler. I like Davion and then Tyler playing the two because Davion gets to the rim. That brings in Kel'el. That brings in the kick out three. And Tyler can run around kind of like Steph does and get his, spots on the court. So, but you're still going to need another point guard. And I don't know if there's any point guard I can think of that matches that way because Davion also plays defense.
There's a lot of talk of Drew Holiday being available from the Celtics, so they could add Drew if you wanted to go like souped up best version of Davion Mitchell, but he is getting older. I think he's owed pretty hefty money the next 3 years too. Right. So
I'll keep new Davion. I like new Davion, not old Davion. Drew Holiday. Plus, I saw what Jimmy Butler did to him. Yeah, never been the same.
I
won the championship the next year.
Oh, I would kind of like to keep Davion.
Yeah,
his energy is just unmatched. Effort, energy, gets to the rim, can make a three, and still facilitate. Right?
But also one of those guys I think they could keep, and even if he doesn't start, he's gonna. You could have a rotational player like there. I think that there's not gonna not be a use for Davion Mitchell, even if. So I don't even think like if you weren't able to, get Ja, get Trey, get somebody else like back there that is in offense, and you're going super offense from the backcourt, and man, I really do think they do need somebody who can play make because Trey's a sieve, but man, he gets his bigs the basketball in a great way.
He didn't he lead the league in assists this year?
Yeah, so I think there's some of that too where you could like Kel'el could benefit from that as well.
Yeah, but on the other end, look at the guys that you would have to guard.
Yeah, it's an issue for sure. It's an issue for sure. Like I don't know if that perfect player is out there, and I think if you're talking about the guy who probably fits in seamlessly, that would be great. But the only question you have is his age is KD. Like KD makes a lot of sense for adding to Bam and Tyler. Like I think that's
getter.
Second team was Kel'el Ware, Matas Buzelis, Yves Misi, Donovan Clingan, and Bub Carrington. The first team was Zach Edey, Jalen Wells, Zachary Richache, and Stephon Castle. That was your rookies. We will take a break. It's about that time. It's time for a Make QB list. That's next. Back after this.
Ooh.
Panthers win.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQM. Leroy, can we get a weather update from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm? YourAccentAttorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE. Demesman and Dover.
Big happy family. Yeah.
You got to get the yeah part, otherwise it doesn't count.
It is not a cloud in the sky over by me. It is a light breeze. Things are barely moving, which means it is hot as hell. I would say the winds are coming out of the east-southeast, and it's about 88 degrees.
How do you do, Froggy?
He is right. A beautiful sunny day. Winds coming out of the southeast at around 10 miles per hour. Currently at around 91 degrees with a high.
That's crazy. That's crazy. It's not even. What time is it?
What? It's
11:25.
11:25. 90 degrees at 11:25, dude. That's crazy.
Soupy out there, dude. Careful.
Soupy.
It's that time of year. Getting real musty, real humid, sticky.
Yep.
So be careful. So you guys want a QB list?
Sure.
Please.
I don't think you're gonna like it, Marcos.
Oh man.
Familiar with the website Pro Football Focus?
Yeah, I've heard of them. My colleagues.
What?
You know me, NFL insider.
You're not an NFL insider, nor are you a statistician.
My colleagues.
I don't think Leroy likes them very much because they come up with some wonky stats that they make up.
Yeah, come on, dude.
They have ranked all 32 starters going into the 2025 season.
Can I guess where Tua is?
Sure.
14.
Ooh. It's got to be worse then.
Did you want to have a second guess?
No. That's it.
Tua's 18th.
Okay.
18th.
I could think of probably 3 or 4 quarterbacks that I would put Tua just outside, right around 15. But I could see how some people could even suggest that other quarterbacks are better, even though they haven't performed better than Tua, right?
Well, they put the quarterbacks in tiers, which I love. I love a QB tier.
So you got a list and a tier?
Oh, they got tiers and they got a list. The first tier, elite. We all know who it is, Patrick Mahomes, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow, number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar, 3. Josh Allen, 4.
Yep.
Then they go to high-end starters.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts is 5.
Okay.
Jaden Daniels, 6.
Oh, okay. I would agree with the list, but there's going to be, I don't know. I won't say regression, right? I won't say he's going to look worse, but his numbers might not be as good.
The CJ Stroud, right? It may be the CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud balled out, amazing rookie year.
Because then when they start game planning for your tendencies and what you like to do and stuff like that, then they eliminate. So say, what if they eliminate the running portion of it and then he only can throw? Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but this is normally how teams adjust to playing against a new quarterback. So he's going to get a lot of different looks. He's still, I still believe he's, a quality starter and he could lead that team, to a championship. I believe that, but this year might not be as good as last year.
Stafford 7. Justin Herbert is 8.
Like that might be one of the guys that I'm like, really?
Tier 3A, they have solid starters who have flashed high-end play.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, Jared Goff.
Okay, yeah.
10, Geno Smith.
Absolutely not. You are out of your rabbit-ass mind if you think Geno Smith. If I had a quarterback draft right now and I said to you, you could have Geno or Tua.
Well, Pro Football Focus is telling you they would take Geno Smith many spots ahead of Tua.
Okay.
Brock Purdy's 11.
Okay, I'm not going to argue
Jordan Love 12.
I'm not going to argue
Baker May. Oh, this is tier 3B. Solid starters, but they need more help.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Love 12.
Okay.
Baker 13. CJ Stroud 14.
Okay.
Kyler Murray 15.
Absolutely not. Kyler Murray and Baker. Absolutely not. Are you crazy?
Trevor Lawrence 16.
Now, wait a minute. You got to have a problem with that.
I have a lot of guys I would take Tua above on this list.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I got 4 guys already.
Dak Prescott 17 above Tua.
Okay. I could.
And 18 is Tua right behind. See, here's the thing with Tua. Tua is basically like the lowest of the non-old guys other than Matthew Stafford. And then he's just kind of above rookies and real young guys or second-year guys. Like the guys behind Tua are Bo Nix, Bryce Young at 20, JJ McCarthy, Drake May, Michael Penix, Caleb Williams, Cam Ward at 25. The only vet
Cam Ward hasn't played a down and they got him at 25.
Yeah, the guys that they have below are like the old guys: Darnold, Wilson, Justin Fields, Flacco, Richardson, Mason Rudolph, and Tyler Shook on New Orleans. But like, Tua stock's never been lower, right? Like, this is the lowest because of the injuries from last year and how the Dolphins were.
Is it because of the injuries? I just think that
I think it has to be for the injuries. Like,
there's a lot of people who just have problems with him. You know what I mean?
He's always been polarizing, but I think being a fringe top 20 quarterback now, like that's the lowest it's been since like maybe before Mike McDaniel got here. Everybody was like, I don't know. Margo's the lowest. Is this the least amount of faith you've had in him as a Tua skeptic?
Yeah, I think even coming out of the hip injury from college, it still was a lot of hype around his name. So I think at this point, this has to be probably the worst you've felt about him as a Dolphins fan since Brian Flores would give you the old, these are quarterback. So I think this is it. This is damn near rock bottom.
It's not great. Like, if that's and I'm not saying that. I know Pro Football Focus has never been the biggest Tua fan site, but it's like, okay, I think to Leroy's point, if we were to take guys the guys I would definitely take before Tua right now, Trevor Lawrence can kick rocks, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield,
right. So that puts him at 15.
Purdy, Geno Smith.
No, I'm definitely not.
I still take him over Jared Goff. Like, I'm sorry.
Would you? You definitely take him over. Like, what are we doing?
I still take him over Justin Herbert.
Like, I love the way we look. All credit to Geno Smith for turning it around, right? But come on. Now all of a sudden,
you're not right, Dade South. That's not right, dude.
What happened?
If you keep throwing up gang signs on the field, people are gonna have doubts.
That makes me think that this isn't a skill thing with Tua's ranking at 18. This has to be strictly durability, because he's very clearly better than some of those memes.
Right.
So it has to be durability. That really has to be like, they don't care how good you are, they don't trust you.
But and that's fine. That's fine. And you can say that and do that. But they got Dak Prescott above him. Dak gets hurt every year.
A lot of those guys you would take as injury prone. I think we've had this discussion a lot. But
would you take Dak for $60 million or Tua for $60 million?
I'm not taking Dak for $60 million.
Right.
But I think the thing is there's a difference because Tua has the bodily injuries. It's the head stuff, dude. Like that's the thing. It's not.
We're just doing injuries or injuries. Like if you
they're not though. But Leroy, we talked about they're not because he had an injury he had a concussion last year where he said he could have played the next week and they took him out for 6 weeks.
Okay, I'm not saying it from the level of injury and the importance of the injury. I'm looking at it from missed games, okay, for whatever reason. Okay, Dak has missed some games too, right? So, like, when I'm talking about guys that I would take Tua over, right, I would definitely take him over Trevor Lawrence.
For sure.
I would take Tua over Baker Mayfield, even though I like Baker Mayfield. I would definitely take him over Geno Smith, right?
Well, I guess the question for him is like, because you look at the young guys are behind him. Like, let's say if we did this list in a year, is it more likely that Tua gets back into the top 10? Because I think like last year, people were considering him probably a top 10 quarterback with the year that he had and the numbers that he put up.
If he plays all the games, he'll be in the top 10.
Is it more likely that he's in the top 10 or is it more likely these young guys jump him? Like any of these guys, like Cam Ward, like Drake May, like JJ McCarthy. Like if these guys have 1 year, people love jumping on the quarterbacks, and then you have the value of them being on their rookie deal. Like that's the other part that is valuable to a team as well. So I guess the question when they put Tua at that point, it's kind of like this fringe point of like, all right, so you basically have him above everybody who's unproven, and that's it because you have him below everybody else. That's and that's why I say like it feels lower than it's ever been.
I would say this. Part of that has to do with the success of the team and his injury last year, missing the 6 weeks. If he plays all the games, he'll be in the top 10.
I know, but that's like it is his biggest vice.
Sure, absolutely. Not even saying that it's not an issue.
As long as he's fat and doesn't try and run this year, we're going to be in business.
Well, the thing about football, and this is like we can all sit back and say what a guy should do. But when you're in the game and your team needs you to do X, you're not thinking about the ramifications of it, right?
Cav says, top 15, Leroy, you're crazy. Nick says, Bryce Young's going to be jumping him after this year.
Okay.
Evan 11 says he's not even going to try and be fat. He's going to try and run, and he's going to get hit. I hope he doesn't do that. That'd be so interesting.
You can't – listen.
I don't want him to do that.
I know nobody wants to have him do it. I get all of that. But if it's 3rd and 1 and Tua can get the first, if he would have just throw the ball in the ground, people would flip out.
I not me, but you know what we're gonna do on the Tobin couch?
What?
We're gonna be like, good job, Tua. Live to fight another day.
All right.
Live to fight another day.
Okay, depending on what moment in time it is in the game.
No moment.
Sure.
No moment. Absolutely. No moment.
Absolutely. People are gonna say you couldn't get a damn yard to close out the game, or you couldn't get it. It was 3rd and 1 at the end of a game. Like, that's just football. Right? Like, you can't, like, I understand him trying to be more careful. But you still gotta play football.
You know, it's strange. With as critical as I've been of Tua, and especially of his recent activity, I can almost guarantee this
Hold on. Dave South, what are you smoking? Have you ever met a fan? When has a fan understood? Like, I don't know, all of a sudden now everybody's trying to be reasonable. Stop it. You know damn well if Tua don't get a first down, it's at a pivotal point in the game, you're going to say, why couldn't he just go and slide?
No.
You're going to say something. Baloney. Stop it.
Wow.
Stop it.
Strong baloney.
All of a sudden, fans are understandable. No. I'm not doing it. Y'all crazy. Couldn't get a yard? Why you just run out of bounds? Why you just slide for it? Stop. You know you're going to say it. At least man up about it.
Timbo said they literally cheered him when he slid last year. That's
true. Because he got the first.
I would have been fine if he would have slid backwards. I would have been better with it. I don't want him running.
We're all saying that now.
I'm telling you, I've said this for 2 years.
If he doesn't go get the first and the Dolphins lose a game, you're going to be on tour. Everybody will be. You got to play football, man. Now, you got to be careful.
Football, but he plays
I'm not saying he can't be careful, but I'm telling you now, if he's rolling out to the left and it's 3rd and 2 and he got some grass in front of him, he got to go try to get the first. That's football.
Man.
I don't care if he's fat or skinny, go get the 2 yards. That's football. For everybody to say, oh, no, just throw it away. Live to play another day. There ain't nobody that. No.
It's just smart.
There ain't nobody that's that understanding in sports, especially fans. Come on.
I'm very understanding.
Oh, my goodness. What? Dude. For this.
Hey, Frog Boy, tell the sideshows to kick rocks, dude.
I feel bad because this is an innocent man. Unfortunately, everybody else deserves to be thrown to kick rocks, but poor Dan Day had an actual question this time.
All right.
I feel bad. Poor Dan walks in.
There's been a rotating door in there for you today.
It really has been 6 different
Tell
people.
everybody, please get out of there. Stop bothering them.
Hey, so I get it. I understand everybody's sentiment. Okay? But when you spend that money and go to that game and he throw it away with open field in front of him, people go flip.
Not me.
Out.
I will calm my section down. I will be like, guys,
Marcos,
let's think about week 6.
Hold on. Marcos, can you say that again so we can get it on tape?
Yeah. If Tua Tagovailoa doesn't go for it on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, because it means not getting his head caved in, I am going to understand it. I will applaud it. And if I was at the game with fans, I would stand up and applaud, be like, live to fight another day, Tua. Love it. Love it. Let's think of week 6.
Are you starting to slow clap after saying that?
Hey. And why are you giving him a golf clap? Because you hope nobody don't kick your ass on that's sitting next to you. Man, fans don't, dude, in heat of the moment, fans are not going to care about that. You know as well as I do.
I'll have to teach them. We'll take a break, mix things up on the other side.
WQAM broadcasting
Ey, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Your ticket to summer is here. Live Nation's got $30 tickets to more than 1,000 shows. And to celebrate, we're giving you a chance to win tickets to 5 shows at I Think Financial Amphitheater. Shows that include Hardy, The Offspring, Toto. I still now am shook by this name because of JFig. Keisha, Pantera, and more. To enter, go to WQM's contest page at WQM.com. Enter right there, and you can win. For more info on how you can see his show for just $30, go to livenation.com. We'll get into this, but the Tush Push ban fails. I think it needs to. I think this needs to be like a presidential term. No trying to ban the Tush Push now for 4 years. Enough of it already. But let's get to the mixed bag. What do you got for us today, Froggy? The mixed bag is brought to you by Frog Boy's ankle.
Yes. Doing much better today. I'd like to keep the vibes high. That's what we started with. And I think it matters how you start, gentlemen. Someone else who values that. So, Polar Bear on skates himself. Recipient of yesterday's ceremonial puck to end the game. Niko Mikkola.
Been keeping forwards accountable his whole 2 years here. Mixie.
That's how we start the series. On the next one.
He is so big. Like Barkey is not a small guy. And he looks like Niko Mikkola's kid brother.
Yeah, there is a noticeable difference, and his skin just glistens in the Arctic every time.
Maybe he
is ghostly white, right?
That's Finland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he got that giant Adam's apple.
It seems like everyone is taking turns seeing who can give the shortest speech. Like no one wants to really dive into it. They're like, that was fun. Let's do it again.
Who's getting wordy? Like, who's getting wordy? You think it's like
Tkachuk. Tkachuk could get wordy.
He goes, wrap it up. No one's shorter than Bob, though.
Oh man.
Reset.
And keep in mind, like maybe a lot of them, because English is not their main language, keep it short because of those reasons.
Yeah, everybody speaks English. There's nobody yet. There's no
like. I can understand some French and I can respond to some of it. But when Mel's family comes to town, but I ain't going to have a whole conversation.
Yeah, but we talked to Gus about this. Remember, he was like, "Yeah, but you know what? Everybody speaks English because that's what everybody speaks."
Right.
Like that's what it is.
You asked him the dumbass question about when you're.
I didn't think that was a dumbass question. I thought it was a perfectly reasonable question.
I mean, because of Gogi yelling to his teammates in English.
Now we know. What else you got, Marcos?
Speaking of Bob, yesterday they did their best to knock our boy out of focus.
He got folded up pretty good a couple of times.
Well, doesn't matter. He's still not worried about it. This is what Bob
Things got a little physical in the second period, especially around your net. I saw you and Tkachuk talking to one of the refs at one point. How do you handle that, and just what was going through your mind as you were trying to wade through that?
No, it's okay. It's the playoffs. They try to get under the skin, so it's all right. So I can, I just focus on my things and don't try not to think about that.
Suckers.
Not even a nice try. Usually it's like nice try. Not even a nice try.
Like again. The two people having that conversation with the refs are probably the two people that bothers the least. So when those two go talk to the refs, it comes from like a calm, this is how we playing. I just want to be clear. This is how we playing.
I've
said that to an official.
That's what we're doing out here today?
No, because I scored a touchdown, and the two things I hate: don't walk over me like you did something because you made a tackle. You get paid for that. And don't mush me when you get up. Right? So I've gone to the official and I said, hey, man, if you don't do something about this, I have every right to protect myself. And that'll be on you. I said, do we understand? Are we clear? Because I'm not just going to be out here getting punked around.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are here to protect me, and you're not doing that. You can play hard during the play.
I just think to be 2 periods in and you're already trying to like rattle him because you could do nothing. They couldn't do anything against him.
Anything. And man, I'm telling you, kudos to the defense in front of him, because there were stretches of time, especially during the power plays, where they just passed the puck around. Never took a shot. My favorite is when they kind of go down to block it and then realize that he's not shooting it. So they go down to take a knee and, not shooting it past and jump back up. I'm like,
Neek's had that play. Was that Niko who had that play where he stopped the break and stopped it with his hand? That was a sick play. He was all over the place.
I thought that was illegal. It was just so smooth.
He was.
You can't pass it. You can't pass it with your hand.
That was such a badass play. He was so good yesterday, Niko Mikkola. Unbelievable.
Oh man.
I have some disturbing news though, but we gotta wait. I want to finish the mixed bag. I'll get to, I know that's a hell of a tease, but I have some disturbing news that I learned today.
You tease me more than you tease the audience.
Sorry.
I swear.
You are my audience.
Look at that.
Really, I am not your muse. Okay.
Adorable.
What else you got?
We got a little bit of petty. Do you guys have time for petty?
Always.
Of course.
Always time for petty. You always got to make time for petty. In this case, it's petty out of the NBA. Michael Malone. Remember that guy?
Yeah, he was fired.
Fired.
It means he's on the market, Miami.
What?
Pretty good coach. Won a championship more recently than ours.
If they get a new coach, it'll be Chris Quinn.
Yeah.
Let's just be clear.
Unless
that's how they do things.
Unless the Suns want him.
Yeah, no, but Suns stay over there.
If the Suns made him an offer and the Heat said Eric Spoelstra's moving upstairs and you coach the Heat, he's staying in Miami.
Yeah,
so
I don't think that's happening.
No, I'm not saying this I'm not saying this happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying if that were the case, he would stay here.
The only thing there's only a few coaching jobs for sure, and it's never been a less secure job. NBA coaches, champions get fired every year.
Yeah,
but
except for here,
that Suns job, that guy loves to fire coaches. They're paying 3 coaches right now.
Right,
he got a lot of money. But what do you got for the penny? What did he say?
Michael Malone, petty, in regards to this MVP race. Think he has a dog in the
I actually think it started with their defense. They forced 19 turnovers tonight and converted those into 31 points. We talked about that pregame going in. We talked about during the Denver Nuggets series. You cannot come into this building and turn the ball over and expect to win. And obviously OKC's defense, that's what they do. They do it at an elite level. And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he showed why he's the MVP. He took over in the second half, did so in a very efficient manner, and put the team on his back when they needed him to do so.
Wow, I believe that is what the kids call switching up, eh? All of a sudden, it's not Joker.
I think I heard that same argument in the other direction from this guy earlier this year.
Frosty.
What did Joker do to you? That's messed up.
We know what he did. Joker, what do you think about Michael Malone not being coach? I don't care. Just whatever. I'll do it.
I'll do it.
I'll do it. Just get him out. He yelled too much.
Great.
I think here's the thing with Michael Malone, definitely being a petty bastard, which is not surprising because that's what he is.
Yeah.
He reprimanded a reporter for actually accidentally calling him Mike one time.
Come on.
Dude has a very short fuse. I actually think though could be very good at television. If he if he could be as blunt as he is,
Yeah.
I think he could be pretty entertaining on television.
All right.
You
I mean,
know?
he sounded good just now.
I mean, he's kind of the let's put it in football term, Rex Ryan of football, of basketball.
Yeah, a little bit. Like I think he could if he cuts loose, I think he could be pretty entertaining. Like I saw they had JB Bickerstaff on television on Get Up today.
He was dud.
And I was just like looking at I didn't even see what he said, Leroy. I'm just like, JB Bickerstaff, he ain't saying nothing. Michael Malone will say some stuff. He'll let it rip.
None of them going to be in there. When is the TNT contract end? After this year? Or 2 years?
Yes. No, it ends this year. It ends this year.
And then all those guys are going to ESPN.
The inside the NBA is, yes.
Yeah.
And then Amazon's going with mostly Amazon's got, I think, Dirk, Dwayne Wade, UD, I want to say Steve Nash. And then I don't think they have any coaches.
Do you really want I wonder how
I think Steve Nash is doing it. And then NBC, I know they have Mello. They just got Jordan, but I don't think Jordan's doing like a regular thing. I don't know who else they got though. But I'll tell you what they do have. They got John Tesh. You literally could just go out, like just play the song. It's like you got a point here? No, just play John Tesh.
You know, every time I hear this song now, I think of Kevin Hart dancing in that commercial.
How much is Kevin Hart just I feel like Kevin Hart is cashing in on every other commercial.
I mean, like, what makes him so funny is that he's tiny, right?
Of course.
I mean, have you ever watched Jumanji?
No.
I'm not having another grown-ass man carry me. He's on the back of rock and just running through the jungle.
Yeah, he's a petty bastard, Mike Malone. Remember, he took a shot at the Heat. He's like, we got our own culture here. I was like, who said you didn't?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Oh, well. Now you got the unemployed culture. We'll take a break.
Analyst culture.
Yeah, you're a TV boy. Take a break. Back after this.
your mind.
Welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM.
It up. You know who this? You know this is a sample, right?
From Stevie Wonder.
Yep. Do I do?
Oh, wow. Let's get to our headlines here, brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. At Doral Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock, like the Tiguan, the Taos, and the Atlas. Remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen as the Panthers go up 1-0 in the Eastern Conference Final. Put it on the Carolina Hurricanes. Welcome to the playoffs, Canes.
Yep.
Did you see, by the way, Leroy?
Yes.
Did you see who the Carolina Hurricanes had to rev up the crowd?
Yes.
In between periods.
Hey, I just man, they are very unfamiliar with his work.
Wow. If you guys didn't see it, former Miami Hurricanes coach, current Duke head coach, Manny Diaz was there to fire up the crowd. Now, I don't have multiple reports, but I have one report, boots on the ground, from one of our listeners saying he got booed to holy hell. Like, that's UNC territory. I don't know why they did that, but he got booed in the building.
Wow.
And it's not even about football.
No,
right?
You're just bringing in, but you got to realize it's a split population there.
Aren't they? What are they? They're like what, 15 minutes away, or more than that?
Who?
North Carolina and Duke.
Well, they're near Duke. I mean, they're closer to Duke because Duke's in Raleigh. But apparently, he was saying it wasn't a pro Duke crowd. Like that's what I heard from one person. He was like, "He got booed out there." I don't know if that's the case. If anybody else was there, I don't know if anybody was boots on the ground that wants to confirm or not. But the word was he got booed. Either way, it didn't help because you could have Manny Diaz, you could have anybody out there who was going to try and rev them up. Wasn't stopping the catch yesterday, dude. Was not
even a little bit. Not
stopping the catch yesterday in this whole scenario. But let's hear from Paul Maurice. Paul Maurice yesterday on Niko Mikkola's performance. Here's what the head coach had to say.
Question, left side, Jamison.
Coach, a heck of a play by Mikkola to set up that goal for Greer. Obviously, he had career high numbers in the regular season. What's it been like watching him kind of explore that side of his game this year?
I got mocked heavily on the bench for that goal, heavily. There's a wonderful inside play to Mikkola at the line, which I abhor. We're going to do everything we can never to see that again. But what Niko is kind of, and I learned this about him, his straightaway speed is incredible. Like he would be viewed as, when we signed him, I talked to two coaches about him, and that was kind of the thing, it's kind of the agility. He doesn't, but they played completely different games than we played. And then he gets here, and he's up the ice all the time. And we enjoy that on the video the next day, showing his rush attempts. But his straight line speed is incredible. And so he's carried that speed then across the line. Wonderful play by Nozick that you're not going to see again. And then to the back door with Greer. All of it driven by the middle speed.
Wow. Now, here's the disturbing news that I got here, boys. Today, I was unaware of this, but I guess this has been a thing. They don't refer to him as the polar bear.
What?
What do they refer
Well,
to
I mean, nobody does. Only us. We've started that. But
what do they refer to him as?
Paul calls him the condor.
Condor.
He calls him the condor. Bird of prey, he said today from Jameson Hall's Twitter.
I mean, I would think of a bird of prey as being light on their feet.
He is giant. I mean, condor is the biggest bird there is it not?
Dave South pointed out wingspan.
He's got wingspan, that's for sure.
Right. So a bald eagle has a wingspan of 8 feet. Whatever the hell a great albatross has a wingspan of 11.5 feet. The condor has a wingspan of 24 feet.
Dennis says the condor has been a thing. I know. I saw somebody. I saw mic'd up with it. I didn't know that he was called the condor. I didn't know that was a thing.
So do we?
I like the polar bear better. What if I like my nickname better?
I mean, they call him the condor, though.
Yeah, but like
polar bear seems like we have more fun with polar bear.
I like polar bear, and also I don't think of condors as ferocious, even as a bird of prey.
Smeathan can't even. You spits facts. He goes, "Big Bird is the biggest bird, you idiot." Hello, bird.
Chris Anderson, biggest bird.
Nah, he ain't got a wingspan of a condor.
How tall is Big Bird?
I'm still calling him the polar bear. I don't care.
8 feet 2. No, Big Bird wins.
No, that's his height. That ain't his reach.
No, but
you
still.
know how far reach of a 24 feet is?
No, that's crazy.
That means almost a first down.
No, but I felt like I was lied to though, because now everything else is saying 12 feet, but didn't want to.
Can you Google one time correctly?
It's just the pictures. Why do they do pictures?
It's a ridiculous. A 24-foot wingspan with a bird. That's a pterodactyl.
The world's largest. Yeah, it was pretty big. Yep, you're right. You're 100% right. So 12 feet is correct. So how big are these then? 12 feet is more correct.
Said Big Bird reaches kids all over the world.
Okay. I don't like the condor. Although I do see a resemblance. I'm not going to lie.
Because of the...
Yeah, the Adam's apple.
Because he looks like that bird. My mama told me to get some for dinner. You know that cartoon with the bird?
Let's hear from Barkov on Niko Mikkola's game.
Yeah, he's been really impressive. Like for his size, he moves so well. Like he had good stick, like defensive stick. He plays the game the right way all the time. Like he's been great for us. So there's not too many bad things to say about him. So great guy too. So it's great to have that type of guy on your team, and he's also really funny.
Oh, is he?
Well, no. Is he funny, or when he tells a joke, you're scared, so you laugh? There's a difference.
Wow. Whatever you say, Meeks.
How tall is he in without all the stuff on? 6'5". 6'5"? Okay.
6'5" without the gear.
So that means he's with the skates, he's like 7 foot.
He's a giant. We'll take a break. That was your road to repeat, by the way. Brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers.
Back with more after this.
Back to life, back to reality, back to life, back.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. We're going to get to a little rats over later on this hour as, we'll put up some topics and see where your rats are at or whatnot, Did you guys see, you guys familiar with Ashton Jeanty?
Yeah, running back.
He's good. Yeah.
He almost broke the college record.
Did you see that Chip Kelly is not letting him do his thing in the backfield anymore, Leroy?
What do you mean?
So he does the thing where he stands straight up to get ready. Like that's his deal.
Yeah.
That's how he feels comfortable. And Chip Kelly is not letting him do that anymore.
You want me to tell you why people
I
do
do
that?
actually. This is why I brought it up to you. You have expertise in this, and I wanted to know why. Why can't he do that if he had success with it?
It's a timing thing, right? So I would stand up because if I got in a good football position and took off, I'd be too fast. So depending on how deep you are, sometimes you'll lean back a little bit or stand up a little bit more so it's not as quick to the line of scrimmage. That's why I did it. I also stood at 7.5, 8 yards deep because I wanted to be going downhill.
That was your sweet spot?
Yeah. So whatever play I was running, I would stand 7. Now, you got to change it up because defenses can read that. So when you're 5 yards up, sometimes it's a pass play because you need to get to the end of the line of scrimmage. So you had to change it up. But if I was in a position where maybe a trap or something like that, I'd stand more upright so that my timing taking off worked with the timing of the pulling guard and the hand, the play.
Marcos,
so that's a part of the reason why they do that. And I don't know if Chip Kelly understands that it's not to look a certain way. Sometimes it helps you with the timing of when you get the ball and how you can move when you get it.
Marcos, what did you use when you were going up against Dalvin Cook?
Yeah, I would be in push-up position because I figured if I'm closer to the ground, maybe he'll just jump over me.
So, like there's a lot of like, for example, if you play wide receiver and you're standing straight up or too far upright, then that's going to be Teddy. Jam. Oh, jam. So you got to be bent over a little bit, as a wide receiver. So when that confrontation comes, your hands can react quickly.
Al Mago says, well, Chip Kelly has wrecked many careers.
Yeah, but
he still has a job, huh?
Like
he does.
And for certain running backs, it's a comfort thing, but it has more to do with the timing of it all. You don't want to be too explosive at the beginning that you end up not letting the play develop.
Was there a habit that they did make you stop when you got to the pros, or like somebody tried to take away from you?
Yeah, fumbling.
Other than the fumbling. I know the fumbling. I know the fumbling.
There were times where I would catch a toss and go outside and just damn near stop. And the coach hated that. Like a lot of my coaches hated it until, of course, they saw why I was doing it. Right? It's like, look, I can't get outside. I'm not getting out. I've identified that they, just ran outside to get outside. And if you try to force it, you got a whole bunch of defenders running outside and your offensive line is pushing them out there. So if you pause a little bit or take a little bit of a stutter, then the defense stops to get in position to tackle you. And then your offensive line can get where they need to get. And so, yeah, it's like you got to have explosiveness and patience, but you got to know what the hell you're looking at, So sometimes a skilled guy or a fast guy or an explosive guy, it doesn't matter if you don't know how to use those skills to benefit you. So you have a lot of fast guys that just take off and run. Well, guess what? There's defensive linemen that can run. You ain't gonna make it out there all the time. But that same guy who's running, if he's standing there staring at you, now you got your guys in front of him. So it's a bit of patience, a bit of explosiveness. There's a lot of different things going on to where when you watch a game, it just looks like the guy's just taking the ball and running. But there's a lot of things he has to kind of figure out what's going on during that course of that second and a half.
You feel like this the Dolphins running backs this year, because of like all the lack of success they had running inside, like for the young guy they had Jalen Wright, and then they have Ollie coming in this year. Like, is that something, if you know, they keep talking about mentality, but like, is there something they can fix going into this year, because it was such an issue last year? Obviously, I know Devon's super small.
Well, here's the thing, that when you draft these guys, you see their running style and how they go about doing things, right? So one of my advantages when I got to the NFL was I played a yard away from the quarterback in a wishbone. So that meant all of my actions happened quicker than anybody else in the backfield. So I was able to, read defenses and move off blocks very quickly. So when I moved back, it was like a breath of fresh air. Certain guys who are physical runners, they still have to figure out how to use your blockers and how to, eliminate angles and stuff like that, right? Because they're not going to be the guys that are just going to outrun everybody. Same thing with Devon Achane. It got to the point where they said, we're not going to let you run outside. And then you have 2nd and 13. So I do believe with the nice mix of styles, not necessarily a mentality, but just the way the guys play the position, they're going to look at these things differently. Whereas Acham's always been a speed guy his whole career. So in this offense, that's how that's going to look. I know that if I was in that offense, I would give the appearance that I'm running outside while always trying to look for a more direct line inside.
What happens if you had a top bum in front of you too? Like when Eichenberger's in, you're like, that ain't gonna work, because you just knew he was getting lit up every time.
Sometimes guys aren't good with certain aspects of that position.
What about all the aspects?
So I would say this. What Liam probably had a lot of problems with is
standing.
That quick action outside, he couldn't keep in front, so there was penetration. So as a running back, you can help that by kind of slow rolling it, give him a chance to get on that guy. And I would always tell the offensive lineman, wherever he wants to go, bury him. It's my job to run off of that. So there's a lot. Sometimes the offensive line will look better with certain running backs, not because the running back is better, but because his style better fits how they block. And that's one of the things you have to figure out with your offensive line. Like, I knew that if I was running left and Randall McDaniel's my left guard, I could go as fast as I want because he's going to get out there quicker than anybody. And you need to be fast so that those guys will attack him and he's not running in open space. Whereas if I went to the right, that's where my Clydesdales were. So I had my right guard was 340 and Big K was 350. So I knew speed wasn't going to get it done on that side. So I had to be a little more patient, let them get their hooks on the guy, and then run off of that.
What are you talking? What does that look, Marcos?
That's a football term. Get those hooks. Get those hooks on them. Sometimes you got to get those hooks on them, you know.
It's all about getting leverage. If you sprint outside on your offensive lineman and just try to outrun everybody, you've also outrun your lineman.
Yeah.
Right? So what happens is you get a lot of guys on the edge, and you haven't given them an opportunity to block the guy. So you can be fast, you can be explosive, but you have to time it up so that it works with the guys in front of you and give them a chance to block. A lot of times, Achane would just run outside, right? The outside guy, the corner, the DB couldn't block that guy in front of him because he took off too fast. The left tackle, right? The guy jumps around him. The left guard, that guy jumps around him because they're sprinting out to the ball before the offensive line can get any leverage on it. If you give them a little bit of time and kind of give them that opportunity to, so say if I act like I'm running outside and all those guys run outside and the O-line just takes them where they want to go, now you got a nice little gap in the inside. Sometimes if you pause a little bit and let them get there and they start looking to see where you're going inside, then you can use your speed outside. You got to be able to work hand in hand with the offensive line. Sometimes guys just run with speed and it's not very effective in offense.
Jay says, Leroy, do you think that they do too much pulling on short yardage runs instead of just firing the bleep off?
Yes, and I think part of that is because when you've never put an emphasis on one, we're going to be physical on third and fourth down, and we're going to be aggressive, and we're going to kind of make a wedge and just kind of push the pile and go. When you've always pulled, when you get into those moments where you have to be physical and close the game out, nobody hasn't done it, right? I don't think it's a matter of whether they can do it. I just think the whole mentality offensively hasn't allowed them to do it, because I got to tell you, all of these linemen that come into the league, one of the attributes that all of these coaches and these guys talk about is the ability to move people. And if you don't put them in that position, then you can't be mad at them for never getting acclimated to what you picked them up on. So, yeah, I think it's part of, if you get the mentality of this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it. If we're going to be physical up front, that means 3rd and 1, we run in between the tackles. You give your offensive line an opportunity to get to that point of physicality, then it could work. But if you've never done it, you can't then turn around and say we're too soft.
Hey, Marcos.
Yeah.
You know what that was?
What was that?
That was football.
That was football.
That was football. That was football.
Y'all like that?
That was football.
I didn't lose anybody, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, the only person you lost was Baldy in the dust, because eat your heart out, Baldy. That's football.
Yeah.
Take a break. Rats Off a Ship is next.
rats off a ship.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Let's put our snorkels on and figure out whether we're staying on the ship or not. It's time for our favorite Wednesday game. Rats over.
Rats off a ship.
We go to our host, Jennifer, for the topics of today. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, and happy anniversary.
Oh, wow.
That's one of the greatest messages today.
I saw my Facebook memories for everybody. Can you get this sound, Marcus? Is it still in the system?
Yeah, I can find it, I'm sure.
See if you can find me throwing a lizard on Leroy. We'll wait till Leroy gets back into the picture here. But it was, I saw it today on my Facebook memories. Today was 6 years to the day that I found a lizard in our old studio and did an over-the-shoulder toss to Leroy while he was doing a Hard Rock live read. And, man, he handled it like a pro because I really thought for sure he was going to mother bleep me on the air. But he was able to hold back. Do we have that, Marcos?
All you have to do is go to shrpo.com for a complete list of you. That's what I come back to.
I just texted
wish you a happy anniversary. That's why.
I texted you. I texted you our group chat that today. I just saw on my Facebook memories that today is 6 years to the day that happened.
Well, that goes to show you because I did find a dead roach in the hallway and I put an RIP sticky on it. Right. So he just had a rando lizard just running around the studio.
Yep.
So he picked it up and threw it on me.
That building had charm, and I will continue saying it.
It
had many things, and charm was one of them.
Let's not forget the chair graveyard.
Oh, man.
Many graveyards, really.
What do you got today, Jennifer, for Rats Off a Ship?
Well, now that Leroy is back, we have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander being a flopping free throw merchant.
Wow. People are mad at him. People are mad at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because he feels like he's getting a different whistle. I got to be honest with you. Rats off a ship. Like, to me,
rats off a ship.
Yes, he does fall a lot. But I don't find it to be in the ilk of James Harden or Trae Young. I find him to be a very herky-jerky player as it is. It kind of goes with what makes Shai Gilgeous-Alexander what he is. I know people are annoyed, but look, it didn't matter anyway. You scored 88 points against him. Like, I think you got bigger issues to worry about than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander being a flopping tricky free throw merchant. So I'm rats off a ship on that claim.
Yeah, I'm rats off a ship. I'm rats off a ship simply because, if you want to fix flopping, don't talk to the players, talk to the officials. And if they call in it and you can take advantage of it, I'm fine with that. Like, and if everybody has a problem with everybody in the league flopping, don't get mad at the players for trying to take advantage of a call they could get. Talk to the officials and say, hey, you ain't getting away with that no more.
He's very frustrating because he can contort his body in very strange ways. Like, he got this shot up, and I'm like, he looked like Mission Impossible. Like, he was facing the floor off out of the paint. I just find that I get it. It can be annoying, but it's different than the Harden, the wave.
You
back.
don't like Harden.
No, it's different. I'm telling you, dude. Harden's a disgrace. He is.
I love the way you call Hall of Famer a disgrace.
He's a Hall of Fame disgrace. I would agree.
All right.
JFig?
I'm rats off a ship.
Wow. All right. What about you, Froggy?
Nah, I don't know, man. This guy gets a little bit more calls than I think everybody else in the league. Why? Is he that much different from everyone else? A little bit of star treatment. I don't know.
Yeah, that's from being the MVP.
He's getting called the most valuable player tonight.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I assume. I mean, imagine if they give it to Joker, do you think they're gonna be able to find him, or is he gonna be on a farm somewhere?
Oh, he's long. He's like, no parade this year, right?
We don't have anything to celebrate, no? Oh, good. That could be with Pony.
Yeah,
do you think he bottle feeds his horses? Like he nestles with it?
Yeah.
Does he tell horse coochie coochie coo?
Really? Could you imagine? Like, why? I mean, you have everybody from that region kind of doing things like Gru, right? Like,
what's number 2, JFig?
Well, we have Michael Beasley demanding a trade-off. Miami 305 in the Big 3 League. He is reportedly upset that they drafted Lance Stevenson.
I'm torn on this. I'm rats off a ship because I don't want him off the Miami Big 3 franchise. But I also will not deny Michael Beasley his happiness, and drafting his rival was rat behavior by the Big 3. So I'm going to say I'm not rats off a ship, because if Michael Beasley's upset, then I'm upset. And even if it costs him off my franchise, I will follow where Michael Beasley goes. Even if it means I have to go, root for the ball hogs in Big 3, I'll do what I have to do. And it's a shame that whoever runs the franchise, that is the Miami 305, didn't read the room, because he has a one-on-one tournament coming up against Lance Stevenson. You should have known better. And I'm upset about it. I don't like Michael Beasley being upset. So I'm not rats off a ship if he's demanding a trade. I understand.
Rats off a ship.
Why?
We just had
rats off a ship.
We just got, for the Panthers, 2 guys that beat the holy hell out of each other on the same team. Man up, Ladybug.
What?
Man up. Like, he on your team now. And how does that say? Oh, I hated him when he was on the other team, but he's my teammate. That's big boy sports.
I couldn't believe that was an actual thing Chris Haynes tweeted. I was like, wait, what? Is he hacked? Like, is this, how many followers does this have? Is this a real story?
Yeah, but so just look at the Panthers. Look at how many guys, like, come on. Marchand? Could you imagine a year ago or 2 years ago him being on the Panthers?
Michael Beasley of the expansion Miami 305 is upset the franchise drafted Lance Stevenson with the number 1 pick and is contemplating requesting a trade, sources tell me.
Have they even started playing yet?
I think it's a summer thing.
No, but I'm saying this is their first year.
The Miami team it is, yes.
He's asking to be traded before they play a game?
I think he's been the MVP of the league. But he's supposed to be the star attraction of the Miami team.
Okay. All right, I got you.
Simbo says, sources, Michael Beasley. What about you, Jennifer?
I agree with Leroy. I'm rats off a ship.
Wow, not sticking up for Michael Beasley.
It's not a matter of sticking up for Michael Beasley.
Super cool bees. I understand.
I mean, at some point, can't you be like, isn't that being called being professional?
Frog Boy?
You try to convince me that this guy is good. You try to convince me.
I didn't try and convince you he was good. I'm just saying he was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
That much is true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So ahead of his time.
Him and Lamar Odom were ahead of their time.
This
Big
guy
guys handling the ball, could score.
He plays rec basketball for Ice Cube now.
Please stop. It's not like, let's not insult the man.
This is a glorified 24-hour fitness run.
Please stop.
And he's mad because the guy who he doesn't like is on his team now. And instead of just playing basketball because that's what he loves to do, he's throwing a diva fit because that's really what he loves to do.
But he is essentially the Michael Jordan of the Big 3.
He's the Michael Jordan of non-professional basketball. Yeah,
but it is professional basketball. Please stop saying that. It is professional basketball. I won't have you besmirch the name that is Super Cool Bees.
Super Cool Bees. If you have such a big problem, you can switch from Amped Fitness to LA Fitness. And you'll be fine. You can just play against those.
I don't understand your beef with this man. He's a Heat legend.
It's a wasted pick.
It didn't work out. Agreed. I mean, the other picks in the 2008 draft, Kevin Love, Russell Westbrook, turned out to be much better than him.
Was that the Odom draft?
No, that was the draft.
Not Odom.
It was the draft after the Odom draft. He was the Derrick Rose draft.
Okay, because I know dude came out of Ohio State limping.
Oh, yeah.
And he looked like he was 42. You want to talk about some of those Cubans and some of those Latinos that you don't know what their age is?
Him? Yeah, no.
Oh, my goodness.
I think he's a coach now.
He looked like a seasoned vet when he was a junior in college.
Yeah, I mean, I remember him. We were doing media day that year. I was producing for Hawkins As, and it was the rare year they stuck us up on media row. So they made the players like they made the players like walk up to us. And I remember that same team, Michael Beasley was on the Heat. He was back on the Heat that year. And we interviewed Greg Oden on the show. And I remember like looking down and seeing his knees. And I was like, and he was tired. He was tired going up those steps too. Like, this ain't gonna work out.
He ain't gonna make it.
We were so excited to get Greg Oden, dude. Like that was the one thing that was so hilarious about the Big Three Heat. Like we went through so many bum ass centers to just try and figure somebody out to just put next to LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. And it just ended up like we should just play Chris Bosh the 5. Like that was the solution. I mean, like we had just Drunas Ilgauskas, Eric Dampier, Jamal McGlure. We tried Eddie Curry for a rehab stint.
Yep.
It ended up being Birdman and Chris Bosh. Like those are the guys that worked. Everybody else.
And you know Birdman, you can only get like 15 minutes.
And Joel Embiid, Joel Anthony, who couldn't catch.
Hey, you can only get Birdman for 15 to 20 minutes a game because it was going
to be a good 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It was going to be a good 15 minutes. What's number 3, Jennifer?
Well, we had Joe Burrow upset with the Bengals and their schedule.
Okay. Can you give us Joe?
They don't make their schedule.
I think he's upset with the Bengals schedule.
With the Bengals schedule. Okay.
Here is Joe Burrow.
Playing in Baltimore for the 4th straight primetime year isn't ideal. Maybe we could get one of those in Cincinnati next year, please. Maybe an international game next year, too. You know, I think part of the reason I wanted to do the quarterback show, I wanted to help grow the game internationally. And so to not have a stage like that is a little disappointing because, you know, I feel like I've consciously worked hard to try to grow the game internationally over the last 18 months or so. So hopefully at some point in my career we can go over there.
Hold on. Rats off the ship.
They take trips. Relax.
Rats off the ship.
Here's the deal. Here's what
they
do. They bring players when they announce these games. They bring players over there to kind of do the pressers and stuff like that. And what he's saying is he been doing all this stuff and they don't put a Cincinnati game over there.
Poor Joe Burrow. More like Joe Burrow.
I mean, he's got a point. Wow. He's got a point though.
Does he? You know what? Sorry,
if they're gonna use him to grow the game over there by bringing him over there and having him do stuff over there to promote the game, you probably should have him playing a game over there.
You know what, dude? Hey, Joe Burrow, guess what? The schedule doesn't always go how you want it to go. Sorry. Like, I'm so sick of this guy. He just charms everybody with his Macaulay Culkin looks. And really what we've learned is he's a diva. Imagine if Tua said something like that.
That's a diva?
Oh, come on. Yeah, sorry you did. They didn't pick you for the paella and pigskin. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my
God. We have to go to Baltimore again.
So I guess you're right. No, that's not what he said. They got to play Baltimore twice a year.
No, but
basically what he said was, why every time we're on prime time, it's in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Why not have a prime time where Baltimore comes to Cincinnati?
Belly aching.
Wait a minute.
It's belly aching.
When the schedules of your local teams come out, you are always counting primetime games and
of course, but I wouldn't want Tua. Tua would get killed if he said that. If Tua went and said,
"No, but you do it."
Yeah, I'm not the quarterback.
Oh
What
my
to?
goodness. Wait, so that excuses you from the same
Of
behavior.
course. Of course.
Oh my god.
I don't have the audacity to go out there and be like, I'm Joe Burrow. I've grown the game internationally. You have?
He did not
That's
say
exactly what he said,
He
dude.
said, I've done everything to try and grow the game.
Trust me when I tell you, nobody in England has thought to themselves, I want to be Joe Burrow when I grow up there, love. No one has thought that. No one has thought that.
You are a buffoon.
Oh, chip, chip, cheerio. Who they love?
What in the hell's wrong with you? Like, why?
Just enough.
I don't understand. There's two things that have absolutely floored me today. One is you talking about Tua throwing the ball away on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1.
Just to say,
Right?
no.
Let me finish.
Sure.
And 2, every year you complain about the Dolphins schedule or the Heat schedule or something like that. And somebody else does it with their team. And you're like, don't worry. The next time you do it, I'm going to do the same.
I honestly like the schedule thing doesn't bother me as much, even though it's completely different. The quarterback saying it and a radio host, but
that doesn't mean it's okay for you to say it.
I wanted to be in the quarterback to grow the game internationally. All right, you know what, dude? Then go to Buckingham Palace and play catch with the king. Like, shut up.
You think that would grow the game?
I don't know. What does he think's going to grow the game?
Him playing a football game.
Oh,
over
okay.
there
Yeah, I'm
after
sure.
taking all
Yeah.
those trips over
Bengals Bills is going to grow the game over in Germany. Once you remember Cheetah getting ball taken away? I love the football more than uns Bundesliga.
Stop it right now. Stop. Stop. Stop.
Uns little kitty cat. Uns lost football. Where are you at?
What's wrong with you?
I don't even know where my rats are anymore because of this man.
You didn't even say where you're at. I guess your rat's off a ship.
No, he didn't. That was the first thing.
I'm not rats off a ship. There's some truth to that.
I don't want to watch too. I want to watch international superstar Joe Burrow. I don't know what the German guy's wrong.
Why do you sound like that?
It's a weird mix of a person.
Like, could you imagine being that arrogant?
Is that being arrogant?
It's arrogance. Like Patrick Mahomes would have gone to be like, I'm out here growing the game internationally. No, like he's just being Patrick Mahomes. This guy's out here. He thinks like he's an ambassador to football. You're Joe Burrow.
You're the worst. You pick and choose when to be.
I don't pick and choose. I thought it was a ridiculous thing for him to say.
You do. All I'm gonna say is this: you make sure that when you do it and I say something about it, you don't give me some ulterior motive as to why. Oh no, I can do it. He can't. No, absolutely.
What are you talking about? How can you not see the difference in that?
Because he actually has more invested in it than you do.
He doesn't though, because they didn't. Pick
If he's taking, wait.
Me and him have the same amount of international games this year, so clearly we don't.
Wait. When they go on these international tours, and the league asks him to go, he goes because he's thinking that he's growing the game and he's helping with the growth of the game by going over there or doing, these trips. And then they don't even play him in a game over there.
First of all, you're taking a lot of liberties. Like, we don't know that happened.
I'm taking liberties.
You're taking liberties.
I'm taking liberties. Oh my goodness, you're a liberty thief. That's all you do is take liberties.
Liberty. What's that he says? Ribbit? Liberty.
Dude.
A ribbit?
Hey, question. Did you get up in the morning and you just say, babe, I'm on one today?
How
Right?
much Celsius did you drink?
I'm like, what are you doing?
Honestly, I'm 0 Celsius in. I've only had one Cafe Bustelo.
How
mean,
big is it?
What is wrong with you today?
Never thought the game could grow without Joe Burrow going to Spain. How will the game grow?
See, there you go.
Take a break after this.
Who's calling it?
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. Doral Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock like the Tiguan, Taos, and Atlas. Remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. Panthers up 1-0 in the Eastern Conference Final. They beat the Carolina Hurricanes yesterday 5-2. Put it on them. Great performance by the Cats. Today, they have a day off from practice. Some of the players spoke to the media. Paul Maurice, though, Leroy, he said that, this is from Jameson Olive, Maurice has updated his opinion on Game 1. Remember, we heard from him earlier. Wasn't too pleased with it. He didn't like the game. Quote, it was better on video than behind the bench. He liked the film review. I agree. I don't think the Panthers played poorly. I thought they played pretty damn well, as bared out in the results. But
he was talking more about the certain moments in the game, right? Where they kind of had lapses only to be bailed out by Bob.
Yeah.
That's what coaches do.
Love Sergei Bobrovsky. He's good. What's not to love about this legend?
Focused.
Game 2 is tomorrow at 8 o'clock. You, of course, can hear that right here on 560 WQM. Marlins about to get underway. Rubber match against the Chicago Cubs. They lost 14-1 yesterday. Yeesh. Max Meyer on the bump today for the Fish. Western Conference Finals, Game 1. The Thunder hammer the Timberwolves 114-88. Tonight, it is Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals as the Knicks host the Indiana Pacers at 8 o'clock. I could not be rooting more for the Pacers, and I don't think I've ever said that in my life. But it is what it is. I'm out of options. Tonight is Game 1 of the Western Conference Final between the Dallas Stars and Edmonton Oilers. Puck drops at 8 o'clock from American Airlines Center. So we got that as well. Dennis says, Tobin, you haven't said anything about those rat bastard Hurricanes taking runs at Bob. We have said it. We played Bob's. I don't know if you're late to the show, Dennis, but you have Sergei Bobrovsky, Marcos. This was Bob's reaction to it.
No, I deleted it. I'm sorry. Give me 10 seconds and I promise.
Oh, it's okay. No problem. I thought it was hilarious. I was pissed off in the moment, but then I heard some of the analysis of it. They're like, oh, they're really trying to get into under Bob's skin. And I'm like, yeah, good luck.
That ain't happening.
that ain't happening with that guy. You know, like a guy who basically trains his mind, does Olympic lifting on days off. Like he's a maniac. He's a maniac. And I just have a hard time believing if you think that's how it's gonna go, then you're desperate. In my eyes, them doing that to Sergei Bobrovsky is desperate and lame. I'm sure Maple Leafs fans be like, who's the energy with Stolarz? First of all, Stolarz took a 100-mile-an-hour slap shot off the dome. And by the way, I also have to say, hey, Chris Nowinski.
Really?
It's enough with the spotting every little thing and you think it's a concussion, okay? He was fixing his mask. That's what Sergei Bobrovsky was doing. He's out here and he's just like watching television with popcorn all the time, being like, concussion. Not everything is a concussion, dude, okay? I don't need you sticking your beak in the cat's business. It's enough of him. I'm sick of it already. And another person that I'm sick of, by the way, is Joe Burrow, because I went on a little bit of I don't want to say a deep dive, but I dove. And I checked in with AI, Leroy, as to your claim. Has Joe Burrow done anything to grow the game internationally? And first of all, he's taken no trips to any place internationally. It said, this is from, what is this, Grok? Is that what Twitter calls theirs?
Yes.
Grok. Joe Burrow has expressed interest in growing the game of football internationally, though his direct contributions to this effort are limited and primarily tied to his public statements and media appearances. Like, yeah, so he's done nothing. He's done nothing. And it also says he's shown enthusiasm for representing Team USA in flag football. This is another one I got to get Can I tell you something? No flag football for the NFL players. This is ridiculous. What does it earn us? Like in reality, what does it earn us? You know what we should do? We should take freshly retired guys. They can go play for the flag football championship. But I was thinking about this. It's one thing if they were playing real football and that proved something. Cool. Do I really need to have Justin Jefferson play half football to prove he's the best at football? Not really. Like, imagine him versus Sweden in flag football. Is it really necessary, Leroy? Ask yourself. Does that feel like it brings international pride?
Here's the problem. You giving an athlete who would normally not have the opportunity to win a gold medal, they're in.
Let's do real football then. What's this flag nonsense?
Because nobody else can play real football.
Then that's tough. I don't know. You know, that's
Tobin.
Like,
why are you so like?
So we gotta make up a sport for them to go represent the Olympics.
You know, there's been a bunch of games that have been altered. For the rules have been altered so everybody can participate. You do realize this, right?
Do tell. Which like
there's
like
international
what?
rules.
Like what?
A lot of the sports.
Like what?
Beach volleyball.
I don't know right offhand,
well,
but you know they tweak the rules of the Olympics so that everybody can participate. So it's not just according to one league or one country.
What about those? Remember that flag football quarterback who said he was better than Mahomes?
I do remember that. Yeah, he did the pogo stick move.
So would you prefer those? Just like we keep it strictly like non-NFL players?
No, because then you complain about how we lose in American sport.
People, and by the way, for the smartasses who are saying basketball, there's like 2 rules you can't do. All right, no 3 seconds and being allowed to hit it off the rim. Like, let's be grown-ups, people. It'd be like playing a basketball game, but nobody's allowed to shoot threes. Like, that's what it would be like.
I mean, they still tweak the rules. They have international rules for certain sports.
It's not a different sport.
Yeah.
Well, I think recently, if I'm not mistaken, Japan beat U.S. football in some sort of...
I believe you're right about that. So let's take on Japan in real football. Let's go. That I'll send Justin Jefferson to go play football for. We'll send our best.
So just out of curiosity,
who's
going to block a defensive lineman from Japan?
I mean,
who's going to block? If I put him in front of the line, let's use Kenneth Grant.
Yeah.
You know any Japanese offensive lineman that could block that?
Sure don't. They got to figure that out, don't they?
Am I being?
That's but then that's not competition, though.
All right, well, again, great. So then, got 2 hands on the flag for Japan. Congratulations.
Oh, they can use sumo wrestlers as offensive linemen.
That'd be fun.
Look at that.
That's that.
Okay.
You get some of those giants from Australian rules football. Maybe bring Alexander Volkanovski back.
I think there's something to this. I think, look, if you play,
they do rugby, don't they?
Sounds like you're on board with me.
New Zealand does rugby also. Australia, just think about it. Their special teams will be amazing. Got to watch out for them.
Didgeridoo.
Oh my goodness.
Game of field position.
Really got to get all over the place with the accents.
Oh yeah.
What?
These are all the voices in his head. I want you to know.
Think it's a little. I just think it's a little.
Those
silly.
are the people he talks about when they call him things.
I would be fine with Justin Jefferson doing it after his career. Like because it's not football.
He wants to win a gold medal. Who cares?
Then go. Come on. We're making up sports now.
Not even college. So like retired players, I feel like are going to be broken down and injured. Like you don't want, Cam Ward as a cane or something like that.
Dude, let's be real about it. Like we could go if we put Cheetah at 36 and we have him out there playing flag football against Switzerland, I think we're going to be all right. Would you want Cheetah playing? Cheetah wants to play.
Yeah.
It depends. How tall is the opposing team's women? That's really.
I want to give you a point for that.
That's a point, you rascal.
Really what I want to know. I want you to stay focused.
Point for Marcos.
We'll take a break. More to come here on the show. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM, streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, the channel Miami 560 WQAM. You guys can check us out there. Got those Dirks Bentley tickets to give away before the end of today's program. Also, we just had our second Whiskey Stars and Cigars a few weeks ago, and now we got your chance to win tickets to Drew Estate's sold-out Barn Smoker. Get a tour of the Florida Sun-Grown Farm, enjoy fine spirits, a catered dinner, and an exclusive Barn Smoker cigar pack upon arrival. For your chance to win, go to WQAM's contest page at WQAM.com. And you guys can enter there. You must be 21 or older to win and attend. Check that on out, everybody. That's what we got going on there. And tonight, you got Eastern Conference Finals in the NBA going on. New York Knicks hosting the Indiana Pacers. And game one of the Western Conference Final between the Stars and Oilers gets going at 8 o'clock there. So those are both in action tonight as well. Miami Heat doing some scouting, it appears, today, Leroy, in L.A. Scouting, dude. Scouting? There's a it's draft season. I don't know if you know that. It's draft season for the powers that be over there.
Oh, they have the little summer camps and stuff?
Yeah, well, apparently Clutch Sports, Rich Paul's agency, had a pro day today. And so there was a video put out by Draft Express today. Mm-hmm. And little Looky Lou, one of the cameos there, as you can see here on the screen, old PR in the building. I think this is in LA.
Yeah, that's because it's around the corner from his house.
Yep. Pat Riley and Adam Simon in the building, along with other NBA franchises, to get a little looky-loo at what prospects they have over there with the Clutch Sports. And apparently some of the guys that are getting looked at, Walter Clayton from Florida, of course, just won the championship. I've seen him mocked to the Heat, falling to 20. I don't know if he'll end up there. He's obviously a little bit older, so maybe that is the case. But he's been mocked to the Heat.
Is it like weird? Like we say he's older.
Old.
We get mad at guys that are 22 coming out of college.
Get out of here, you old bum. Not like I bet the quarterbacks are getting taken now. The quarterbacks now are like 25, 26.
Yeah, because they made more money than they'll probably make getting drafted in the 7th round in the NFL.
There's a prospect, Hassan Yang, who is a 7'1", 250-pound center from China. He's 19 years old.
Sounds like a moose. Yao Ming?
Well, I mean, you know, he said that's going to be the natural comparison. He said, Yao Ming is my predecessor. I've always respected him and want to learn from him.
All right.
He averaged 16 points, 10.5 rebounds, 2.5 blocks in the Chinese Basketball Association this past season. I think Pat Riley's looking at a Chinese prospect? Little China center? Had some size?
Come on. Dwayne Wade had some success with his Li Nings in China. Isn't he like Michael Jordan over there?
He is very popular over there, yes.
There's a pipeline. We got the pipeline already.
We have a pipeline? What do you mean we have a pipeline?
You grow up, Dwayne Wade, as your Michael Jordan. You learn about Heat culture. They know what we expect. There it goes. Pipeline.
Never thought about it like that.
Look at that. Pipeline.
I mean, are we really going to China for a pipeline in NBA?
Pipeline of culture. How expensive do you think these shoes are that Pat's wearing?
$2,500 flip-flops.
I'm thinking they look like comfortable, but still more expensive than I would expect.
I like how Pat Riley still at this age is like, I'm still dressing fancy to these things, you know? No polo. I'm going.
Marcos, you spend top dollar on used shoes, so why? What if maybe he's looking at you thinking the same thing?
Hey, listen, the clock is ticking on you, old man. Those shoes are gonna be mine.
How much would you pay for a pair of Pat Riley reused shoes?
Pat Riley's reused shoes?
Yeah,
I'd pay top dollar, but I wouldn't even wear them. I just put them in a case.
Wow, really?
And I just do this all day.
Yeah. But Joe from upstate New York, you wear his right away.
Yeah, $65. I'll wear them tonight.
Oh my God. If you guys want to go to Dirks Bentley right now, caller number 4 to 305-567-0560. Caller 4 to 305-567-0560 will win themselves a pair of tickets to see Dirks Bentley, who's bringing his Broken Branches tour to the I Think Financial Amphitheater this June. If you want to win those tickets, caller 4 to 305-567-0560. We'll give away those pair of tickets right now to caller 4. Take a break, wrap things up on the other side. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Why'd you stop?
Because
you were killing it.
I didn't even know those words. We continue on with more words I don't know.
That's more of a vibe.
That's back in the day when everybody sang like high pitch like women.
Was that falsetto?
Yeah.
Man, they have announced that the Buffalo Bills will be Hard Knocks this year for Hard Knocks training camp. Buffalo Bills.
I don't want to hear. Get that stink away.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even want to see my team this year. So I'm okay. I don't even like, if they were like Dolphins this year, I'm like, nah.
What I would do, though, honestly, I'm telling you this. I think this is what I would do if my team, if I wasn't sure about my leadership, I'd make him do that Hard Knocks off season. I thought, like, if I'm John Mara, I know it looks embarrassing, but at least I know what buffoons I'm working with, you know? Like,
but he didn't fire anybody.
I know, but at least he's got that ammo, you know? Like, see, if I was Stephen Ross, wouldn't you guys tell me, like, this year with the Dolphins being in the situation, you wouldn't love to have Hard Knocks off season for the Dolphins? Because no one's happy with these guys anyway right now. They all want them fired. Like, if you were Stephen Ross, you wouldn't want that on video recorded. I feel like that kind of did Jeff Ireland in. Like, we all like were a little iffy on Jeff Ireland, but once we had the whole, you know, debate with him and Joe Philbin and not letting Vontae Davis call his grandma, we're all like, I don't know about this guy.
Wasn't he the one that asked about the receiver if his mom was a hooker?
That was reported. That wasn't on Hard Knocks, but Des Bryant did claim that Jeff Ireland did ask if his mother was a lady of the night. That is true, Leroy. Also,
can I just say,
it's wild.
If somebody would ask me that, I can't, in that environment when they probably should be 100 times more professional than me, I can't tell you how I would respond.
I can't imagine well.
I would be just insulted, right? I don't know whether I would get up and leave and they go, why are you leaving? And I'd be like, to stop myself from beating the brakes off your ass. Right? Like, I don't know. Like, and they can hide behind, oh, we're just trying to see or whatever. You know what I mean? Right.
They were supposed to have the Hard Knocks off season was supposed to be UNC, but Jordon Hudson ruined it. So we couldn't get.
They were going to do college?
Yeah, they were going to do Belichick at UNC, and apparently she was a nightmare, and she ruined it.
Won't be the first time.
She wanted like ownership of it, and they're like, no. And by the way, did you see this? So not only is it rumored that they're engaged now, did you guys see the boat?
The boat.
The boat.
Oh,
boat.
God.
So Bill Belichick, you know, he's got his boat 8 rangs, right? And apparently the boat's now 8 rangs plus 1. I was like, whoa, she changed the boat?
Come on.
How big is the boat?
I mean, it's a nice boat.
It's the same size boat as it was before. It's just what's written on it now. Just don't
That's
like
a lot of commitment to go ahead and just change your name.
There's also a TMZ story today. Bill Belichick's ex, Linda Holliday, who was more of his age range, confronted Jordon Hudson at a Christmas party. I love this. This is so crazy that the coach who's like,
why are we doing this as housewives of like,
it's so great.
Right.
This is crazy. Could you imagine? There's not a coach who would want this less than this man. And he's like, oh my God, what's it? What? He's like, what's TMZ? What is that?
Ooh, ask Jordon Hudson to leave the party.
Wow.
Wow.
Do you think there was a smack with champagne in the other hand?
Oh, there was gonna be. Someone wanted to speak to someone's manager.
That's a classy smack.
Old ladies don't fight.
Look at this though. You see, I see Bill. This is so crazy. I see the picture of Bill and Linda together, and I'm like, this makes sense. You know,
they were adorable.
It just makes sense. This other girl is just like,
I think he dropped her for a younger squeeze, though. I think this is, I think that's what happened. I feel like because I remember when they broke up, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, the lady who's always with Bill Belichick, the blonde lady," and then all of a sudden, old Jordan's popping up there, and now
Jordan went over to their party and said, "I'm the captain now."
Yeah, pretty much. Nothing says intangibles quite like a Nantucket fight between squeezes.
Oh, yeah. He's from the Hamptons.
What's the worst thing? Somebody go ahead and get some champagne thrown on you.
Yeah. Throw some caviar.
Yeah. Ain't nobody saying, "Hold my earrings."
No, they won't get them back. Those are good. I don't know. This whole thing has been.
Apparently, it was very aggressive behavior.
Here.
Yeah.
Let me explain to you why this is so weird. It's not weird because of the women involved. It's not weird because of the age difference. I could care. Two adults agree to whatever in their relationship. So be it. It is the fact that the man I know has preached every single day of his job about the outside noise, the outside ridiculousness that goes on with players on the football field. Go home and get some rest. Stop partying. Don't get yourself in trouble. You have a responsibility to the team. When you hear all those things, and everybody knows that's how Bill Belichick operated, that's how he did things, and then you see him getting caught up in some foolishness, that's the weird part to me.
Yeah.
The weird part is not the how old, the girlfriend is or the fiance. It's not how old the last girl. It's the fact that Bill Belichick is caught up in some stuff that he would look at a player and go, "What are we doing?" That's the weird thing to me. Everybody else looks at the age of the girl or what she's doing or what she's saying or whatever. This is just so unlike. If a player was caught up in this, you'd be having a meeting with Bill.
Dreamland official approached Jordon Hudson as her friends backed away. The person questioned Hudson. I asked Ms. Hudson if she thought it was a good idea to be at this party. Apparently, this is a party that what's her name? Holliday? What's her last name? Linda Holliday? Linda Holliday is Bill Belichick's ex. Her daughters were DJing a party at this Nantucket place, Dreamland. And Jordon Hudson went there, even though apparently she knows that they all hate her guts because she stole her man. And he said, I asked Ms. Hudson if she thought it was a good idea to be there, considering the clear animosity the above individuals felt towards her. She defended herself by saying she did nothing wrong. And it was the first time attending the Christmas stroll and wanted to attend the big party going on that night, which happened to feature the twins DJing.
So, you know what's crazy about this? This goes out to all of these people in relationships, past, present, whatever. If your significant other get caught up or leave you for somebody else or get caught up in something with somebody else, whatever, why do we always get mad at the other person? It ain't the other person. It's the person you were with that knew what your situation was. So why are you getting mad at if your husband or your wife cheat on you? Don't get mad at the person they cheated with. Get mad at your husband or wife because they know what your situation is.
Yeah, but
show up at the party though.
If you're like, look, if he's
did she show up with Bill?
I think it was just her by herself.
I think it was just her by herself,
which is even weirder.
Which is odd that you would go to a party like that by yourself.
Right. It's well, I mean, the old don't like partying late.
You know what that is, though? That's the old Tobin.
What?
Yeah, you stirring the pot.
She's not. Well, yeah, that is stirring the pot. I don't accept that that's the me. I don't think that that's a fair.
Oh no, different situations. Maybe
no, I don't.
Not that
I
exact
don't
situation.
Think
but you have been known to troll. Is that not accurate? And is that how good is that troll job from a troll profession?
Sometimes I like to troll just because people on social media are stupid, and I like to just throw them out.
And there you have it.
But I don't have any relationships with these knuckleheads. You know,
it don't matter what trolling is trolling. I just think we go way too far into this. I mean, the fact of how old his fiance is, or how, or
well, if you're too old to go to the social event she wants to go to because you like nappies, you probably shouldn't date her.
Wait a minute.
What?
My wife does things I will absolutely not do.
Not because you couldn't stay up late. The old can't stay up that late for a Christmas soiree.
No, I go to Christmas party and stuff. But I'm saying there's things like when my wife went to Paris. Like, there's no way I'm doing all that walking.
Christmas party, it's May.
I thought it's just because you didn't want to be with the French.
No, I didn't want to do all that touring.
That's great.
All the touring and sightseeing and stuff. And I knew I was accurate when they were sending me their update on steps. 27,000 steps today.
A lot of steps.
30,000 steps
That's
today.
good, though.
Did you have to walk through a museum?
That's good for your health, walking.
You know what else is good for my health? A nap.
Oh, those are good.
Like, will you kidding me?
Move your body.
I'm gonna go get me like a 15-minute before I go to physical therapy.
See, they need to do Hard Knocks Nantucket. That'd be a show.
Oh,
Housewives of Nantucket.
Yeah, that's what I need to see.
I mean, it sounds like Bill been running up through that like Boca.
Slaying through Nantucket Astron.
There's no Nantucket Astron. They put all their investment in lips and boobs.
Well, listen, good for Bill. Like, there's no deflate gate apparently somewhere.
I don't even want to be a part of
this. Leave my guy alone.
I'll leave him alone.
Leave my guy alone.
The news won't leave him alone.
Why can't be happy? Just be happy. The more happy people walk in the face of the earth, the better the earth is.
A lot of drama going on with this happy.
Ooh, Bill seems fine.
I don't think he does seem fine.
I don't know.
Really?
Like, I've never seen this side
like,
of him. Like, it's eerie. It's weird.
He's like, I had to make a decision. Tomorrow I want you to bring me your playbook.
Man, that's our show, everybody. We'll talk to you rascals tomorrow. Welcome to the end of the show montage, Flem.
Baguettes, hey.
Volcano.
You're barking down the wrong tree.
HBO.
They knew.
You're a dirty bitch.
I'll see y'all when I see y'all.